Welcome to Us versus Movies. I am your host today, Dustin, joined by my co-host Kevin.
That's me.
And we have a special treat before we get into the movie that you already know and clicked on. This month, the month of October, we're doing all horror Halloween-esque films. It's our own little Us versus Pumpkins. Nah, I got nothing. It's Kevin freaked me out. I don't know what the hell to call this. So it's just Us versus October. That's what I'm going with. And we'll be doing all horror Halloween type movies just to get that out in the air. And to start us off is Friday the 13th, 2009 remake. Kevin.
Yes.
Anything you want to say about this process before we begin it?
You mean about the spooktacular we're trying to do here?
Yeah, that thing. Yeah. See, it rolls better. Like if I say spooktacular, everyone's just like, "Shut up, asshole! This isn't a car commercial." Like you said it with such believability. Okay. And Kevin is the other thing I want to say is Kevin is our resident horror expert. He said 100 horror movies I had seen, he had seen 1,000. So, and I don't even doubt it.
I wouldn't say expert. I'd say connoisseur. Like I consume them a lot. I don't have this gatekeeper elitist mentality about like some people do, where they're just like, oh no, it's got to be this. Oh, that's the 1976. It was filmed on 8mm.
Fucking killer clowns from outer space. You're not a fucking horror fan. I got fucking critters tattooed on my asshole.
Jeez, go for all the bangers.
Oh yeah,
this guy is hardcore.
No, you are definitely not a gatekeeper, but you are a connoisseur, a fine wine expert.
I enjoy
kind of annoying at times about. No, I'm joking.
Holy smokes!
I'm just fucking with you. But we are talking about Friday the 13th, 2009. Everyone was like, "Oh, they're rebooting it. I guess it's time." And then Michael Bay produced it, and they were like, "Oh no."
Yeah,
that's the start of our problems.
It's Platinum Dunes, so they had the
is that his company? I always fucking forget.
I never forgot when I saw that. I was like, "Oh, it's a Platinum Dunes joint." Usually,
when I see it, I get upset. But
if you usually see that before the credit scroll or whatever titled, it's going to be a Bay related.
Yeah,
basically, he's fronting the bill. You don't see any explosions or crazy.
No, but it does have his other staple of titties all over it. So,
I could chalk that up to being more of a horror-based thing, kind of with this character, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we'll cover that. Originally released on February 13th, because it was probably the only Friday that year in which the 13th fell upon it. Hour 37 minutes, unless you watch the extended version like I did, and it was an hour 45. Rated R. Horror mystery thriller. Two of those are wrong. Very much so.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? Actually, I'm going to go all three are probably wrong, but that's fine. Directed by Marcus Nipsell.
Probably not right, but yeah.
No, it's as right as it's getting for this asshole, okay? Oh, God. Let's see. Thankfully, he hasn't really directed much since this. And Conan the Barbarian remake. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake.
Platinum Dunes as well. So they had basically access to a lot of these properties at the time, via Paramount. At least for
Einstein TV movie
Friday,
and then Pathfinder. What do you think of all these posters, Kevin?
But they're all the same, right?
Yeah, they are. He's like put an orange filter on that one, blue on that one, gray on that, orange on that one. That's it. I'm done.
Yeah, and it's all like these muted grays, and it's all washed out looking, and that's what they did in Chainsaw and remake, and they do it heavily here in this film. When the movie goes out of its credits and goes into the film, it's off-putting instantly. Like you would think you had like an old 90s or 80s television. You're trying to fix the fucking contrast. You're like, what happened? What is this? This was a choice someone made consciously? Fuck.
Yeah, and then Damien Shannon on the story. I'm just gonna go with him since there's, of course, 500 other people with credits. Baywatch, Freddy versus Jason. Apparently, he wrote that, and yeah, that's it.
So, like, really quick, the characters are based off of Victor Miller because it's like the soft reboot, right? And
Yeah.
Cunningham did all the a lot of the original stuff, so he produced this, of course. And I do remember when this was rumblings for a new reboot, sequel, whatever. There was tons of people writing for this. Like, there was so many scripts that were being pitched for it, and a lot of tons of them got turned away, and some of them had really cool ideas and takes. So knowing a lot of that when I saw this originally when it first came out, just being a fan of the original characters and series, seeing that it was this that made it over all the other ones made me either think they were either too ambitious, too crazy, maybe just kind of outside the box a little too much, where this was the most safe, consumable, product to put out with this character,
Well, and probably just a favor, it was probably just like Michael Bay's friend,
I don't know, because if you look at it, these two guys wrote this, and then another guy had to come in and clean it up. So you're like, well, it's their story. They wrote it, but then we had to bring in another person to kind of make it tighter. I don't know what work was done, because it wasn't character development. I'll fucking tell you that. It was more of I don't know what it could have been, but I do know there was a billion versions of this being written at the time. So.
It stars Jared Padalecki. Close enough. Moose from CW Supernatural, where he or Bar Fights in Texas. Take your pick. Either one. He's known for both. And then Daniela Panda Baker, as Kevin.
I said Panda Breaker.
Panda Breaker. Killer Frost on The Flash, and also little movie we once talked about, Kevin, Time Lapse, the movie with the Polaroid picture that happens twice a day and tells the future.
Yeah, it's a massive giant Polaroid camera across the apartment complex, and some guy's like, I'm taking pictures of everything. It sees the future. Marty!
It sees the future, but only of that living room, because it's too big to transport. So
I didn't hate that movie.
Yeah, it had some interesting.
You can probably concepts. Pedal back on some of the episodes and check it out.
Yeah, far back. And then I don't know. There's no one of really any notoriety other than maybe Aaron Yu, who did that Disturbia. I mean, he did some. He was doing all right during this time period in which this was made, and then this probably killed his career.
I doubt it. This movie was very successful.
Was it? Oh my
yeah, dude.
God. It's 2009. People didn't know better, and they were bored.
It won its weekend instantly, and it had a drop off the next week. But it was I think it was the second most successful Friday the 13th related film behind Freddy Jason. So this movie was huge. I think his budget was only 19, and it did 83 or something.
Well, here's my rebuttal to that. Where's the sequel to it? So
it had a lot of legal problems. So these characters are caught up. It's affected pretty much any Friday the 13th IP out there, be it video games, any kind of material like that. It's got a bunch of legal troubles going on. So that's another reason why you didn't hear the Kiki Mama, the sound in there.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I thought that was weird. I was just like,
that's a separate thing.
Knockoff thing.
Yeah, they had to piece it out, and so they were just like, what do we do for this big reveal part? We got to kind of somebody just make the noise, but don't make the noise because I can't deal with this shit. All right, this movie. Okay?
Well, I haven't heard the noise in 25 years. Here's my best guess, and they were like, good enough.
That'll do. That dog will hunt.
And then Ben Feldman, who is best known for Superstore, I will say, and then also Drop Dead Diva. And I bring that up because my wife watched all of Drop Dead Diva. And I feel like I watched all of Drop Dead Diva.
What's that show about, Dustin?
It's about a beautiful, very shallow woman that dies and is forced to live in a fat woman's body until she appreciates inner beauty.
So like Shallow Hal, but like reverse?
Yeah, but with like this guy playing your guardian angel until he was like, I don't want to be on the show anymore. And they wrote him off in the most bizarre, dumbest way. Does everyone want to know? Good, I'm going to go into it. He falls in love with a human. And so he has to be reassigned. And then he was reassigned to Superstore. So that's all I know about Drop Dead Diva.
Wow.
So.
Well, that sounds great, doesn't it? Let's talk about Friday.
Let's talk about God damn it. Yeah, let's talk about the credits, Kevin. The opening credits in which we see
Listen, man, before you hit the credits,
yeah.
I see the New Line Cinema logo and I pop huge. I'm like, fuck yeah. This is tied to great memories. This is tied to fucking shit I loved.
Ninja Turtles, original Ninja Turtles is New Line.
Hey, man. Love it. New Line. It's like, for me growing up, New Line, Canon, Orion, anytime I saw that before the crawl, I was like, I hyped. I knew it was going to be a certified banger. Even if it still wasn't my eyes. I was like, I don't care. They could do no wrong. What do you mean these companies aren't around anymore?
Yeah, I mean, what was interesting to me, so it was New Line, which is a WB IP when it is allowed to do stuff because, obviously since WB bought them, they've declined in production. And then Paramount pops up, which never gets me excited because I'm just like, man, you got a great logo, and that's where all of your movies end, at that logo.
We own a bunch of shit. Don't forget it. You're like, you forget it. You always forget it because if you didn't forget it, you put out great shit again. Sometimes, fuck you guys.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you one. I don't know. Couldn't tell you the last time I enjoyed a Paramount movie. Or that they didn't just release it on Netflix. And then you see the Platinum Dunes, and you're just like, oh, yeah, we are really... We led with the lead horse, that is for sure. And then we just kind of got to the bottom of that barrel quick.
Man, it's a real stomach churner.
Yeah.
It's even a shitty logo.
Yeah. And then it is. It's a super shitty logo. And then at the end of the movie, Kevin, they had a second version that was equally shitty. And I was like, why did you do a remix of this?
I left the room. I think the original Platinum Dunes logo looks like a cat box. I'm like, what is that?
That's the one that's at the end. Yeah.
Oh, maybe I
was just
saw
like, what is this cat box doing here?
Platinum Dunes, bitch.
They're like, we love the cat turds. We used it for a logo.
Dude, it's Michael Bay, dude. So his logo should just be like a half-exposed boob with cocaine on it. And then the cocaine blows into the wind. It just says, just snort him if you got the titties. And they're like, what? That's his production company?
Titties and hookers. That's what his production should be called, is titties and hookers, because
that's probably already
titties,
taken.
Hookers, and blow. That's Michael Bay production.
Most definitely taken.
So, I don't think it is, but
no,
I mean, maybe low key he already has it too. He's just like, no, that's what it says on my door in my office.
It says on his shirt. What are you talking about? He's wearing it every day.
His driver's license. He's like, yeah, right there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he just pulled over the baster.
I had my name changed to titties and hookers and blow. What am I talking about?
Productions is my last name, so you can sign the checks. Yeah, but we open on action. It's a woman running. It's
1980s, bro.
1980s. It's raining, I think, if memory serves me. Or it's windy or something. I don't know.
It's raining.
I don't know, because the action keeps getting cut in between with a blank, horrible fonted credits. That
I think it was Comic Sans.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a comic. It was definitely Times New Roman.
I use Georgia by itself.
I mean, it's like that. It was Tahoma. It was definitely a Tahoma. Maybe a Verta or
softer edges,
Verta, whatever that one is.
I usually set it to like a medium or a large if I'm really trying to make a point,
I mean, this one was definitely thin. Yeah. The point is that I was just like, I had to keep reminding myself that this was made in 2009, because I was like, wow, that's yeah, that's been 11 years, but still, it's only been 11 years. Who the fuck taught this asshole that you should cut on your opening action with boring ass credits for people and things that I don't even know about yet? Because you're showing me one thing, and now I'm just reading a bunch of names.
I'm glad you brought that up, Dustin. What the movie is trying to do is show you the last camp counselor that allegedly neglected Jason, so he had drowned in Camp Crystal Lake. And as a nod to the first movie, it's Jason's mother who is trying to get revenge, right, for losing her son. She's running. It's like black and white, and that's it's.
No, I wasn't confused by what was happening. Excuse me. I was just annoyed that they were cutting up the action.
No, right, and that I was leading that too because it's these actors are more important than this story, right? So you could have. Because we had to drop it all black and let you know who the fuck we're dealing with.
And I say actors in the loosest sense of the word because there was not a lot of acting in this movie.
Well, and so I want to just judge this movie on its own merits. I don't really want to compare. If I do, forgive me, to the previous 30 odd some years of this series and this character and all the hoops and speed bumps it's had. So it's kind of like a fresh start, right?
Well, good news for you, Kevin. The only other one I actually remember is Freddy versus Jason, and I don't remember it well. So this was all new for me.
Yeah, and this
was the first time I had seen it.
So that's the problem, right? I'm super versed in this character. You're not, right? Mm-hmm. And if you do, it's minimal pedestrian knowledge. You know it exists. Yeah. You know the hockey mask guy. I get it. So if I'm trying to get a new audience off of a soft reboot or whatever, a brand new reimagining, whatever you want to call it, don't fuck up this part.
The opening?
That introduced the world to your character, his basically kind of his motivation, right?
Yeah.
And an overarching thing, this movie wants you to have compassion for Jason in this weird way. That's kind of what the original ones, as I do it instantly, that was kind of one of those things. There was like a pity factor there at times.
Yeah.
But then he turns into this just juggernaut slaughtering everything, and they're kind of like, oh, now I guess I just want to see how he kills, right?
I mean, I guess I can buy the pity angle for like maybe the first introduction, but not after that. Like my issue with this, the way this opens is, I do know that the first one happened at a camp and whatnot. And this is like, you're showing me the end of the camp life. And then so I'm instantly just like, okay, so this is kind of useless and pointless. But, going through this with the counselor, she's, the mom is just like, you should have watched Jason. You should have watched the Jason, my poor boy Jason. And she's just like being really over dramatic. I guess it's an attempt at a foreign accent. Not a good one.
No, it's not actually. It's drama.
Yeah. And then this counselor, this final girl, she fucking whacks mom's head off, which is weird because I'm like, Jason's in the fucking bushes. He's looking at you. He's like beating one off right now. Like, what revenge? He's right there. Turn around and hug your son, you crazy old dingbat. What the fuck? And then the fakest, most not looking like that woman's head pops off, and I was like, who did the mold on this head? That's not her. That's not her at all. What is that? That's disgusting. That's what that is. This is a poor use of plastic. And then the girl runs away. We're still seeing credits through all this, by the way. Jason picks up the head. He has his customary, when you pick up your dead mother's skull, you put your finger in the mouth and go with the lips. And he does that, and end of the opening, right, Kevin?
Yeah, that is it, man.
I can just picture him be like, Mommy, you died.
It's a real botched attempt to kind of like take a narrative that's previously known by viewers and squeeze it in, like you're taking like a whole movie and put it into like 45 seconds.
Well, it's like, if you don't, like the reason that I'm going to guess that the other Friday the 13th movies worked is because you had that initial one that happened at the camp. By like shortchanging that, why do I care about this camp setting at all for the rest of the movie? I didn't. I'll tell you that, because as my first time watching this and not having any, you know, past with the other movies outside of just knowing Jason, I was like, I don't care about this camp setting. I don't understand this camp setting in this movie, like, at all. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
you just neutered that entire storyline.
To the movie's defense, I will say it tries to get away from that. Like,
no, do you know how many times they showed me the fucking sign, dude? Like,
no,
5 times at least is what I counted.
What I'm trying to say is, like, so this movie has a lot of struggles, right? It's trying to serve two masters. It's trying to give longstanding fans something. It's trying to introduce something new. It doesn't want to be at the camp, because the time you get at the camp, it's all dilapidated and jacked up. So it's kind of more like a ground zero base for Jason instead of where the narrative kind of takes place, right? They kind of end up hanging out at this house later on. That's a good 90% of the movie, unfortunately. And so it makes it also very boring because this house doesn't have personality, though it wants to. But it's just a really it could be a super interesting set piece, but it just is not.
That's the thing, is like, if you're trying to serve two masters, then just do the camp or don't do the camp. This weird, like, we're just kind of doing more of the town in a way, and we're doing this house that's on we're doing the lake. The lake is more of the fucking set piece that we're playing on.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't make any sense, because we kept going back to the camp, and I was like, this camp means nothing to me, because we have
as a
done
viewer,
nothing
you shouldn't,
here.
Because
I was like, why are those canoes in such great condition?
So, like, there's only like these 2 exposition dumps that kind of bring up the lake and the camp, right? And you're supposed to just be like, oh, we're back there. But the movie's not really giving it the respect for you to get excited to go back there. Yeah. So, like, when you go to Camp Crystal Lake, it should be like, oh shit, I understand my characters have to go there, but I do know that's like danger. Don't go. You know what I mean? I'm supposed to be nervous, like, oh god, don't go to the camp. That's where all the shit goes down.
Yeah.
And they're just
make me understand by the end of the movie why it was scary to go there. You know?
Yeah.
Like build that up so a new audience goes, oh shit, don't go to Camp Crystal Lake. Instead, you're in this weird in-between where it's like, I just have to kind of know that already going into the movie, but the movie doesn't give me that. And that's kind of like my major problem with the entire movie, just to get that out of the way first, is that the movie wants me to have already know stuff about Jason. But it does not actually give me that information itself. It relies on me to kind of have someone go over and be like, hey, man, that's from the first one. Like the original first one, you know what I mean? You know? And it's just like that the whole time I was just like this, you know, and that's what I kept looking for, was like these moments where I'm like, okay, I understand why he's doing that, because someone told me that's why he does that. But the movie has not shown me that's why he does it. It's just him doing it. And I was just like, okay, that's a bad movie. So
yeah, it's stupid, because I think when the next scene that we go to, where these 5 teenagers, young adults, dickheads show up,
they are definitely in their early to late 20s.
Yeah. So like when those characters show up, and I hate to do it, and I'm going to do it again. In the original series, there's a crazy Ralph character, right? Where the new characters come into this area, this vicinity. He's like, hey man, I'm crazy. Don't go to the lake. That's Blood Lake. That's Camp Blood, motherfucker. Motherfuckers get killed there. And all the people are like, oh shit, for real though? And then they go, right? Because they're just like, I got to get paid, bro. I got to do this camp thing. And the crazy dude, I'm the crazy dude. So you're just like, is that the moonshine talking, or what's happening, right? And there's nothing like that. We just have, like, out of the group of your initial Superstore friends, like, one of them should have been like, kind of like, hey man, I'm just kind of here. I don't really want to be here. Dude, this is like Camp Blood. You know what I think we're near that shit. I don't want to go here. We're trying to get this Mary Jane, but fuck it. I can't. Why? Dude.
Well, that's the problem is that character is also the same character of why they're there, I guess. That Wade character who's
right. So
just the Coleman exposition dump it doesn't even do him. It's a disservice to say that because he's just like, let me tell you the entire plot line that you're about to experience.
Yeah.
And it's not even like charming or ironic or even well spoken. It's just a guy who doesn't stop talking like a dickhead for like 5 fucking solid minutes.
He's very obnoxious and unlikable, and there's no. It does one of the after seeing a trillion horror movies in my life, there's one thing I think if someone could come along and master the effect, and I think a lot of Asian cinema is really good at doing this. They kind of give you compassion for your protagonist, right? So when that danger arises or they're up against any opposition, evil, spooky, whatever, you're like, you kind of feel for them. You don't want them to die. You want to see them get out of this, except for these characters, they're not likable, right? They're not characters. We don't even know anything about. There's 2 girls. One girl, one girl's just girls are just like, there might as well be trees, right? They don't say anything. They don't do anything. Oh, no. They just remove their tops. They're just like flesh bags, right?
This is a Michael Bay fucking joint. Like the lack of adult maturity. Like, listen, boobs, great, awesome, okay, all day, I guess, But in this movie, it's like, shut up, you know what I mean. In this movie, it's just like, it is a requirement that if you are not one of our 2 main female characters who still are not allowed to talk about anything, that you will have your top off, like, instantly. Like, it's just like, hey guys, 2009, the iPhone had been out for 2 years. You have boobies on a phone, okay? I don't know what this movie's trying to give you.
Yeah, it's a trope, right? It's a horror movie trope in this genre where that's kind of excelled, right?
Kill it. They kill that trope in this one where I was just like,
well, that's what makes it like it's a cliched trope and all these things. That's where it goes back to the serving 2 masters. It wants a little column A, it wants a little column B. And instead of creating its own column C, where you have this kind of clean slate to make these characters do almost anything you want. I mean, the Jason character just has rules that fans are going to look for, right?
Yeah.
You kind of can do whatever you want. I was really looking for more nods to the old stuff and then tell your own story, right? They do it kind of with like when you first meet Jason, he's wearing the bandages around his head. It's kind of like the sackhead Jason from the previous ones.
Yeah.
I think it's 2 or 3. But like, in all honesty, the old ones don't get good until like 4, where they try to put like a narrative in there and they add some supernatural shit. And you're like, oh, he can only be defeated by this person. And then you're like, oh, this is interesting. And then that gets away from just that tedious slasher hack 'em, because we've done that about 1 billion times now because there's so many imitators of this formula, right?
Yeah. But yeah, so we meet our 5, dickheads.
Just
2 of them are there. It's a pretend camping trip. They're looking for a giant crop of marijuana because they got some GPS coordinates for it. They're using like an actual GPS thing. Like, I thought they were doing some geo-hashing where you go, you find someone plants something and you got to go find it, but then they're just like, no, we're looking for pot.
Well, I thought it was, and I like I said, I haven't seen this movie in years. I couldn't remember. I was like, is this the old farmer dude? Because they bring it up later where the old farmer dude has a bunch of weed on his property, and then he's near the lake, and I was like, they're near the lake, and the old farmer dude, that's the old farmer dude's weed? And then the old farmer dude's going to get him with a shotgun and be like, yeah, I'm about to get y'all off my property. Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah.
And
no, let's save that old farmer dude.
And then they were like, nah, man, we're not doing that. I was like, but you should, because you do it later. And it's really not a deal breaker. If he would have been like, hey, I heard Farmer Jackoff has some weed up here. Let's steal it from him. He's got all this land and it's near Camp Blood and no one fucking goes around there. So I bet that shit's like fucking sky high, just like we'll be. And then they fucking go do it. And I'd be like, okay, yeah, thanks, stoner motivation. I get it.
That's like a completely different movie, Gavin.
No, like, it could have been a throwaway line.
Stoners versus old man crotchety pants.
No, the old man's not even in the fucking movie.
I know, Kevin, and I was saving it till we got to that point for just shut up and move on. All right. There's lots of problems with that old man. Okay? We'll get to him as we get to him, though.
Just saying, dude, that's my part of this is how I would fix this movie. Just give me these little narrative beats, and I'd be like, yeah, it doesn't take a lot. I know it's slasher movie, and then motivation is 0 to none.
That's a start to fixing this movie. I don't know if you can fix this movie.
You could. It does a lot of things I like, but that's not one of them.
Wow. All right. Well, so they sit down. Superstore. He's like, "Hey, Wade, calm down, man. Making everyone a little on edge." And Wade's just like real antsy. Like he definitely needs the marijuana that calms you down. And they're talking. I don't know the strand, okay? I don't know any of that shit. But he needs it. Someone knows it, send it to this guy. I'm sure he probably still needs it. He's probably still an annoying asshole in real life.
He was like, I was acting, that's a character.
Yeah, I'm going to say that was probably truer to his form than he would like to let on. So they set up camp. They're sitting there. Wade's still just booping and bopping into his GPS for some reason. I don't think that's how a GPS works. You have to sit there and constantly like Pac-Man the shit, but he's doing it. And that's when he gives us our exposition dump about Jason Voorhees and the entire history and an entirely different movie that we were not.
He knew everything. I was impressed. I was like, this guy.
Like, how the fuck do you know this? How would anyone know this? How does anyone have this information? Like, how did this information... I hate exposition like that, where there's no possible way for the information to actually leave the situation and be that detailed. I'm like, add some fucking lore to it, because no one would have all that information. You know, there should be some fucking false information in there, because someone would have made... It's like a game of telephone. Someone told someone, so there's new little tidbits and details added. Instead, this was just like, hey... I run the Jason Voorhees Wikipedia over at horrormoviesfunfestfuck.com, and let me know if this is accurate, okay? I'm just going to spout off fucking exposition for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then so everyone's just kind of, ooh, boogity boogity. They look bored, honestly. I was pretty bored listening to him.
Dude, one guy is like arguing about the quality of beer. One dude's trying to get titties. One dude's just like,
"What is that?"
No one cares. No one cares.
I'm gonna drink Pat's Blue Ribbon. I was like, "Shut up, Jonah. What is this other fuck drink? I don't even give a fuck. You're all gonna die. Just shut up. Drink whatever. No one cares about this. This doesn't make you people. This doesn't make you people." And then, so two of them go off exploring.
No, fucking. They said they're going to go make out. He's like, wrap that shit up, homie. Get that poo-poo for me, baby. Get up in that gut.
Wade, who has no woman to speak of. And
Time out.
Okay.
One of the big problems with this movie, and I know it is another trope, is the vagina to penis ratio is always fucked up.
It is. It's super fucked up. They were like, we only want to see 4 women's boobs.
Listen, if I'm doing any of these outings where I could possibly get murdered by some mass motherfucker, there better be just poon dripping off the branches, bro. I ain't going. I ain't drinking your shitty fucking warm beer.
Women?
I didn't see a cooler. It's like the bros of Savvy Valley, man. You don't show up without bringing chicks or beer, bro. And I'll take a Dr. Pepper Frosty Top.
But just like, I didn't bring that. You said a brew.
That was just to be cool. I really just wanted Dr. Pepper.
I just really wanted Dr. You're supposed to know me as a human on a different level.
Or a Mexi Coke. I'll take either one. And a bottle.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The dude rate. It's because, I don't know. I guess they wanted to see more dudes die. I say questioning everything.
It's just like,
yeah. Let's not get too far ahead, because if
I was the Wade guy, I'd be like, hey man, I'm looking around. I'm seeing too many pickles per. I either get a little bit of this action afterwards because I'm nasty like that, or we're tag teaming, bro. Road
Wade
Warrior
is
style.
definitely going for sloppy seconds. Okay.
He's like, let me just mop it up there. And you're like, what are you doing, dude?
Like, Wade, what do you, oh my God, that's disgusting. What is wrong with you, Wade? He's like, lots of things. I wasn't hugged as a child. So two of them go off to, yes, quote unquote,
Pound Town.
But really they're just going for a walk. Her head's not in it. Okay. She's thinking about her mom. Her boyfriend's like, listen, your mom's the one that told me to get you out of town for the weekend. Okay. So let me get in that Putin nanny. And she's just like, oh, stop. My mom said that? He's like, yes. And she definitely said the second part about give me that nasty snatch. Okay, now come on. Drop 'em.
Gladys, my mum said that?
Mum said that? That's, I mean, usually she calls it the coochie coo, but okay.
She's a freaky old bitch.
The cancer may be taking her body, but not her spirit. So they go off, and then, Wade and Richie, they're talking about their, I don't know, $1,000 score or something of marijuana. They're like, we're going to make $1,000. And I'm like, 2009, $1,000 is still not a lot of money, right? Memory serves me correct. I mean, yeah, I would still.
Do you
like,
have $1,000?
No, but like.
That's a lot of money.
They're shitting their pants like, this is like Requiem for a Dream here, where they're just like, yeah, man, we're finally going to stop shooting up and get out of here.
That's an overrated movie that I don't want to watch or talk about.
Well, I'm glad I brought it up then.
Thanks.
And then Richie's girlfriend, I assume, just starts popping her shirt open. He starts mouthing
really quick
nasty things. All right. Yeah. I mean, I'm just setting the mood and the table for everyone, Kevin. But go ahead, interrupt. I just said pop her top open, and you're like, hold up.
She pops her top open, and back to your comment of I love Cheeches just as much as the next guy, probably more. And I see this, and I'm like, it's not. She has like the implants. I'm not body shaming her, but it's not a very flattering shot of them.
No,
they're not sitting right. It's just kind of the light just hits them real, and I'll talk about the lighting in this movie later. It just hits them wrong, and there is a wrong way. And
it's not.
It doesn't come off very flattering for her. She's a pretty lady.
None of these sex scenes are flattering. None of the topless
calm down, Grandpa. I'm trying to give
flattering. No, it's not. It's just you're absolutely right. It's not flattering at all. She's at a horrible angle. It looks uncomfortable.
Yeah,
and then suddenly she just has baby oil and she's squirting it on her chest, and I was just like,
which I applauded because when I go camping, I bring baby oil out the ass.
I was just like, what the fuck is happening?
If I'm not dripping in baby oil when I go into a fucking sleeping bag so I can squirm around like an asshole, then I'm not happy.
So I could just feel really dirty and gross in the morning.
I just want to shoot right in there.
Just want to shoot right in there and just feel unpleasant the rest of the time.
I want to squish it in my toes in the fucking sleeping bag.
Like Burt Reynolds in Striptease. You remember that? He had fucking, I don't know, fucking Vaseline in his boots or something. I only remember that scene, It sounds
like a private collection of movies.
I was like, I'm sorry, what? Ew. But yeah, and so then Richie / Jonah tells Wade, hey man, you gotta fuck off, because we're gonna fuck. I want to point out that it's like 9 a.m. Okay, at least the daylight tells me it's 9 a.m.
No, dude, it's not. It's at night. That's the problem with this movie.
No. Suddenly it's at night, but before that, it is definitely in the middle of the day. Okay, it is definitely the middle of the day, and then suddenly it's like nighttime. Whatever. Okay, so Wade's like, all right, I'll fuck off. You guys have fun. She covers herself real quick. I'm like, you just got like half naked by this guy, and now you're gonna cover up like, oh, you didn't see nothing.
Ain't nothing.
I'm bashful now.
Wade ain't seen it before.
Yeah, well, he has not.
As they make fun of having sex around him, we're gonna have sex while you sit here and
everyone's having sex. Wade, why don't you go beat off to your iPod?
So. Hey, Wade, why don't you take your GPS and go fucking fillet a chipmunk?
He's like, maybe I will.
Why'd you put a little Chip and Dale in your mouth, you little freak? Why'd you rescue Ranger their
nuts? I'm gonna suck on some frog legs. You like that, huh? Maybe I'm gonna put honey on my penis and let the mosquitoes go to fucking town. they're just like, what?
What the hell?
What's wrong with you, Wade? So Wade goes, and Wade finds the marijuana. It's like 10 feet from them.
It's like literally right there.
Yeah.
Like
they were like, oh man, it's like a half an hour away.
It's like 50 clicks from the kilo, bro. I don't even know.
He's like, I got movement. Click, 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 click.
Not again.
Oh, yeah.
Rambo's in Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah. Seriously. Yeah, we'll get to that.
He is.
Yeah, no, I know. I saw that. It was like Melina and Rambo. I was like, okay.
I want Rambo right now. Click, 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 click.
But so, so Wade finds the pot, and then he finds Jason, and then
no, Jason finds him. Actually, Jason.
I know.
Like,
I was setting up for that. So
he's like, "What are you near my shit? Fuck you.
You like this? You like the devil's fucking weed? Huh? You like that? I'm gonna kill you."
It is a tease as we're trying to kick off the slaughtering spree that will commence. Probably one of the could be probably the weakest kill in history.
Yeah.
Of cinema.
he chops his ear off and he just bleeds out. You're just like, oh damn, Wade, you're lightweight on the whole murder scene. So.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh.
And then this is where I have that first problem, Kevin, because I know the rules of Jason. It's like no sex, no drugs, no rock and roll. Okay, and so Wade's broken 2 of those. He's got the
Wade didn't break anything.
Wade was the weed and the rock and roll, man.
No,
he's
Wade
touching the weed and he's listening to rock and roll. Okay,
Jason don't care about that. Wade was like, hey man, you suck. I really got to kill you just for your life.
And that's the thing. But come on, you know that.
Jason's like, bro, I heard the conversation. You know too much about me. Your GPS.
Know everything. I gotta fucking. I mean, if I don't kill you, I gotta feel like I gotta find you whacking me off on my cave system later on. So no, I gotta take you out now.
You're a fucking geek. I don't know why would you. None of these characters would hang out together ever. That's all groups of all characters through the whole movie. I'm gonna have to start killing them.
Like, why would those 5? She would never date him.
No,
the other 2, I don't know what the fuck they were doing. Why were they like? Nothing was established other than like the second bunch. They were like, we attend a college. It didn't even say they were together at a college. It just,
I didn't even know if they went to school, bro. I just heard some guy say he knows what a dorm looks like. That's all.
It's just like not a dorm. I mean, he doesn't even say he knows what a dorm looks like. He just says this is not a dorm.
And I'm like, you're correct. This is a rich person's house.
Like, yeah, that's usually most houses don't look like dorms. I mean, have you never been in any? Am I assuming you just have lived in a dorm all your life?
It's called
somehow?
character development, Dustin, and they don't want to even spend it on the characters we spend too much time with.
Yeah, we spend a lot of time with people die slowly. I feel like in this movie, but also quickly.
Well, these characters are like. These characters are kind of like your fucking salad, right? Or your soup. What do you want? You're gonna chow down this fucking Caesar, and here comes the main course. You're like, okay, movie. I understand that these characters are just gonna get fucking wrecked, and then we get to see the fucking title slam on the screen. I want it. And then the movie's like, nah, man. Let's just have Wade have a couple more scenes. You're like, what?
Let's give Wade a few. We feel bad. He dies first. We're gonna give him. We're gonna make sure he gets SAG on this fucking scene alone.
If I was Wade. If I was the actor that played Wade and I saw the script and I'm like, oh, dude, he like chops my head open. That's sick. And if I saw that death scene, I'd be like, bro, that is a bitch ass death scene. You go back, you kill me again. You do something cool. I don't care.
Right.
Wishbone my legs, put the machete in my nuts. Do something fucking memorable. Don't have me just sleep against a tree and I lose an ear. What am I, Vincent Van Suck? This sucks.
He's like, I am definitely Vincent Van Suck. Yeah, and then goes back to my other problem, Kevin, of the double opening. Yeah. We already had an opening, and then I know that I'm not staying with these characters, so we're in another opening. So why did you show me the first opening? Because fucking info dump here, infodump.com, gave me all the information. I didn't need that scene. He recapped that scene better than that scene did, because he at least was just like so fucking nerdy into it. And then she fucking flung her hair back and blood spilled everywhere, and then the fucking kid came out and went blah, 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 with his mom's lips, and like
I would have really liked it if it wasn't like stoner weed. They weren't even like stoners. They were just like fucking jockey schmucky. They weren't even jocks. They were just fucking bunch of normies.
Did you see their tents? No,
Yeah,
they were
North
super
Face.
normies.
Yeah.
They were super normies. They had great fucking tents.
North Face makes a great tent. I would have preferred it more if you would have had like some almost type of goth kids that were really into horror lore and been like, oh, let's go up here. Like, you know, those people that do like the dark tourism and shit. They're like, oh, a bunch of people died here. Let's go check it out. Oh, this used to be called Camp Blood. Let's check it out. And then one girl's kind of like, I don't know. I'm getting kind of cold feet about this. And they go there and they, you know, and then Jason's just like, bro, what are you doing? Like, I don't go to your house. I'm just going to have to kill you, I guess. And then
I own all this lake. Okay. All of it. This is my lake. Okay. All right.
And then that would have been cool because then I've been like, these little like antisocial weird kids can just, if they started spouting off this, I'd been like, I believe these guys. You know what I mean? Because it's easier on me to believe. I can just look at them and go, yeah, man, you're into like the Marilyn Manson or whatever. You got the eye makeup on. You spit in your mom's face today because she said she loved you.
I love you. I just wanted to know I'm going to hug you so you don't Columbine anyone, okay?
Mom, fuck you up. I'm going to go to Camp Blood with my
Go to Camp Blood and beat off to fucking marijuana, okay?
Dude,
Can't stop me.
You really got like a real beat fest going on in your mind right now, man. You want to talk about it?
Dude, everyone, dude, because there's a scene in this movie that stuck out to me, okay? All right,
a little too close to home. You're just like, been there, brother.
Way too close to home, Kevin, you fucking asshole. Anyway, so now it's suddenly dark again. It was like 9 a.m. Now it's nighttime. Summers don't apparently have longer sunsets or something. I think our other couple, they're wandering. They find like a fucking dilapidated house, and the guy, he says, and I could be misquoting him, "This looks like fun. Let's go adventuring."
So it's all like scary.
It's like
I'm not going in there.
Caving in on itself.
It looks
and
unsafe.
looks like a shithole. And he's just like, "Where's your sense of adventure?"
Back in the van.
Yeah, I was just like, what are you talking? I have never come upon a dilapidated house caving in on itself in the middle of fucking nowhere and been like, let's go spelunking. Right. No.
It goes to my thing, man. Like, you have to have likable characters. And if you see a character do that, you've already checked out, right? You know
for sure. I was just like, let me know when this is over.
You know the characters are going to get slaughtered, but let's put a little value into them so it means something. But when they make those decisions, you're just like, dumbass. Like, I don't know. Just give me anything. Maybe they heard like a kid's voice, like, or saw a cat run in there, or just they're hearing and seeing shit. Just give me something. I don't know.
Like anything other than what they did. So they're they're looking around this house. They see fucking disgusting ass rotting food that has somehow managed to survive like 30 years.
One of the characters, or the boy out of the group, he's like, oh, or she's like, maybe like a homeless guy is in here, and then you're like, all right, that's believable. Like if you would have said like a homeless guy's fucking around in there, that
until I saw the rotting food, and I was like, no, no, what the fuck? Or Jason only eats rotting food.
Good.
He's like, it just tastes better. I like it. One of those weird people that eat raw fucking rotting food.
Oh, is that what you want to watch Raw next? I saw that movie too.
No, thank you. No, I was talking about there's real people that eat rotten food.
Oh, okay.
It's like a thing they do, and it
doesn't sound healthy at all.
No, it's not actually. It's pretty fucking disgusting. Yeah, they usually end up quitting eventually, I think, because they're just like, you have to stop this. You will die. But anyway, so then we go back, and Richie and his girlfriend, they're going at it. They're doing some real Austin Powers shadow fucking. And then they hear something, and she's like, "What was that?"
Favorite part. And she like, listen, man. If I'm slapping it, you know, and I'm driving it home, I'm just pound. Welcome to the boneyard, bitch. Boom, boom, boom. And you can hear something over your ass clapping, that ain't happening. Because I'm destroying that shit, right? I'm just sweat's flying everywhere. It's like fucking atom bombs going off. And you would have just stopped and be like, I just heard a squirrel piss on a leaf 4 miles out. I'd be like, well, what?
It's like, okay, first of all, you know everyone that is camping around you. Okay, for just like, you don't know you're about to be murdered. You don't know that Jason Voorhees is
I'm murdering that poo nah. That's all that's getting murdered tonight, girl.
you're fucking getting stretched out in another way, okay?
Holy crap, dude! What's going on? Is this the first date, or how long do we know her?
Yeah, anyway, so
It's like, real nasty shit. Real quick.
This is why I don't join in, because instantly judged. But whatever. So
I mean, you did bring up Spelunking, so I'm just like, this guy is just gone right
in
now.
In a house.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, like, are you really that surprised? And why did you just turn your light off if you're concerned that they can see your shadows fucking?
No,
like,
the best.
I just didn't understand why they were just like, Wade, stop looking at it. Wade, if you're in the bushes jerking it, stop it.
And Dustin was like, yes.
Huh?
You were like, finally, someone jerks it.
Finally, Wade, you did it. But this is also my other problem with Jason throughout this entire movie. Okay, and this could just be, I don't know.
Jason, like, bro, that wasn't me.
No. He would step on something and then teleport. And you're like, okay. And now he's just like a silent killer. But he was always just like, I'm a little bunny over here. Snap, snap, snap. And everyone would be like, hey, fucker, I know you're over there. And he'd be like, no, I'm not. I'm over here. Stab, stab, stab. And I was just like,
this is your problem, dude.
It is.
This guy is like,
they used it 900 times, dude.
He's like Big Boss, when basically, and he's like Sam Fisher, and these are all video games where there's a lot of stealth involved. He's like the dude from Thief. Garrett.
Do they all also step on something before they do anything else with their stuff?
Yeah, because when you stealth and it's super quiet and you're about to go snapping necks and shit, if you step on like a fucking dandelion, that shit sounds like a car crash. So people are like, whoa.
All right. Well, then she has every right to stop with the ass clapping, because he steps on a twig and she's just like, fucking Wayne's here. He was just like,
he's a peeper. He has a history. Yeah. They know him.
Yeah. So they start going back at it again. And then Jason steps on another twig. He's just like, fuck, really? Twice? I'm going to fail this mission.
It's my favorite part. Because the dude gets his clothes on and he walks about 30 miles south.
Yeah, no, he totally does. But before that, he's like, the most believable line in the whole thing. He's like, I'm not going out there with a boner. And she's just like, you don't get none until you go out there, son. And he's just like, okay. And yeah, he just starts walking
out there with a boner. She should have been like, no one's going to be able to see it. I'd have been like, zing, she wins.
Yeah, seriously, anything. Well, no, we don't do any male genitalia shaming in this. No, it's all you're amazing. You lasted just as long as me and everything. So, but because he's like, I'm gonna finish, and she's like, no, don't fucking wait for me. And I was just like, what the fuck is happening here? All right, just move along. Move along, movie.
Everyone,
no one believes this guy.
You're not a courteous lover, bro. That's what
everyone.
No,
I am. I just don't buy that anyone in this movie is a courteous.
No, back it up. I'm courteous.
Yeah, we're not here. First of all, we're not here to talk about me. Okay, anyone wants to know, they can, give me a ring. All right. So, but then my favorite part too. He just starts running. He just starts power walking. Wade, gonna punch you in the dick, you asshole, motherfucker. Where are you?
Like, dude, that was my iPod.
Well, it doesn't make any sense. You know he's around the tent. Why didn't you walk in a circle and be like, there's nothing here. Let's just continue. Instead, he's just like, I'm going to fucking walk down this road and look for someone's ass to beat. Instead, he finds Wade. He finds the marijuana. She's still hearing noises. Jason's just over there snapping branches next to the thing. He's like, snap, snap. Snap, snap.
He's just snapping it near the boom.
He's like, I don't really have any fucking screen presence, so snap, 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 snap. So, yeah, he finds Wade. He's just like, oh, damn, Wade. And then,
like, if I found Wade, I would be like, dude, get up. What are you sleeping? Because he's like slumped against a tree, and like you can't really see his ears kind of gone. And I was like, what, dude? Like, what are you, huh?
What are you listening to? Yeah, it didn't, like, I was confused on how he was dead other than just the ear and blood on his face.
For your first kill in the movie where everyone knows that killing is what we've all signed up for to watch, that's how you fucking make your impact? I was like, well, this Jason sucks. This is what he does. This is his homework? This sucks.
The director really liked Wade. He was like, no, we really like him. We're going to take it easy on him.
They find him with his arms folded on his chest with flowers and coins on his eyes. I really loved Wade. He'll make it.
Someone stops to sing Amazing Grace for like 25 minutes. They're
just
like,
daddy boy.
Yeah. Cubo, daddy boy. All right, now I'm going to need, let's just go with Beethoven's Fifth Symphony after this. Yeah, it always brings me down. It always brings me down.
Funeral and shit.
Yeah. It's just like, we really like that Wade guy. He did a lot of the legwork for this entire movie's lore. So, big ups to him. Richie / Jonah runs back to camp because, as I said, Jason has snatched her through the tent because she's trying to back herself up against a tent wall. And
which was great.
Great visually, but I'm like, why do you not know how tents work? You're exposed, and the tent is just protecting you from mosquitoes, and like
I give her the delirious fear. Like I don't know what to do. Something is actually I'm very terrified. So
there was like squirrels like chattering. She was like, huh.
Well, I know it's the whole fight or flight thing, right? So she just kind of like cinches up, and she ends up being left in her sleeping bag, hung over the fire, right? And I was like, dude, is this going to be a callback to Jason X, where he spikes these chicks against a tree? Because that was like one of my all-time favorite kills ever. And they don't do it, but I do enjoy this kill. I thought it was very good. They have her in the sleeping bag. Yeah, it's I like another one later on, but yeah, she's just cooking inside the bag, and we cut to her, and your friend Richie, he doubles back, and he steps into like a bear trap, and this Jason isn't to be fucked with, man. He's like, he'd smoke Bear Grylls in a minute, because he's got booby traps fucking everywhere. I kind of like that aspect.
I liked it until it stopped existing in the movie.
Well, because it wasn't convenient anymore, right? Because we had to create this other sort of tension. And that's another part of the movie that fails, because it puts Jason on this echelon where he's not only just, instead of like the slow lumbering walk, he moves with purpose, right? And everything he has set up is for a reason. And he does have some bullshit teleporting thing we'll address later, but where they kind of get a little too like loosey goosey with it.
Super loosey goosey, just a flopping, open, gaping butthole.
Right.
So, I also forgot to mention he's played by is it David Mears or something? Is that who fucking plays Baker Field's David Mears? His last name's Mears. He also plays Swamp Thing, and he sucks. There, I said it. So.
Well, that's a fair. There's a couple of things he does that I like, but Richie doubles back and he steps in this little mini, like, I don't want to say it's a bear trap because it's too small. Probably for foxes and shit.
Yeah, it's more of a muskrat trap.
Yeah, but it's enough to grab his calf and like shred it. And this asshole keeps pulling his leg, and I'm like,
let me just pull on out of here. I don't need this. Like, she's burning alive. Who needs a foot?
I'm like, what do you
climb up and get her out?
What are you doing, dude? That's not how those work.
No.
And
it like popped up, and it was just like, hope you don't want a shin, motherfucker. And I was like, what are you? And he just kept pulling on it.
Yeah, dude. I was like, you're making it what we like to call worse.
Yeah, definitely.
And then
so Jason's back. Like, I'm done here. Someone's fucking with my house.
Yeah, and then you see in curly hair and the girl. They're kind of just going through Jason's kind of like his kind of hang around shit where, it's not his shit, but it's kind of like
they see his name on the bed and they're just like, what was the boy's name? Oh shit. I think this is the boy's room that Wade was doing that info dump for.
They find a locket that has this young woman in there. And then you see the other side and it's all scratched out. Could be a young boy, I assume.
Possibly
but I'm an idiot watching the movie, so who could it be? I don't know.
And then curly hair fuck is this like, hey, that looks like you, and I was
it looks like you. That's going to play a big part later on because you don't have the sweater.
Exactly, like I was just
like, okay, it looks like you. And then he looks at the camera, and the girl's like, yeah, okay.
And then I looked at the girl, and then I looked at the locket, and then I remember what the mom looked like, and I was like, no. Are these three different women?
Clearly.
They are. They are. So, Still. But yeah, and then they find some Christmas lights. Apparently, Jason is pretty good with electrical, and he's made
Dustin, he's very good with electrical.
very good. Okay, he's very.
Like,
no, you're right. I forgot
I'm
about
upset
later
that
on.
you downsold.
I forgot. I forgot the scene later on. Okay, Kevin, just calm down.
He's superb. Okay,
And then he has made a shrine to his mother's head inside the wall of the bathtub. He has broken through the tile and placed the head there. And curly haired guy is like, I think there's a doll inside. Let me just go ahead and touch it. And I was like,
a little too touchy.
Even
a little too touchy.
Even if that was a doll, why, when you see this setup of lights,
it's very altar-y looking,
bath water.
Right?
Yeah, it's a weird, creepy altar. Why would you ever want to touch that?
The water, because he was kind of born from water.
No, I know. I got it.
The candles, because they, illuminate.
I got their bullshit attempt at doing something of substance. They failed miserably, because when I looked at it, I was like, this is utter trash. So he reaches in. He's just like, oh, it's a skull. Like, before he even pulls it out, he's just like, oh, it's a skull. And, like, drops it in the bath water. They start kicking about. And then Jason's there. And they're like, someone's here. And then he's just like, let me check the door. And then Jason's just like, machete through the floor as fast as fucking you can. It's like a fucking video game.
I kind of like that. Like he kind of dissects this guy.
Yeah, he just starts popping into him. He's just like, got your foot, got your hand,
catches your foot, catches his hand. He's just staggering. I mean, it's like that was shot really well, and I thought like the intensity and the speed in which they kind of made that scene like happen. I thought that was kind of great.
And then I'm trying to remember. I know that he gets got, and then
he gets stabbed up, and he just can't function. She hops over it because she's standing on the tub, so she doesn't get stabbed. And Jason's underneath in like a trap door, and she bolts right back to the camp.
And then he pops up. He's just like, "Fuck a trap door, motherfuckers!" And I was like,
very cool.
Okay.
Like that's cool. I like that scene.
That was fine. That was good. Yeah.
He's kind of silhouetted nicely. It's really framed up well. There's a nice bright light behind him, so you're just like. Very cool, because there's another thing that happens later on, I won't forget to mention, that took me out of a lot of stuff. And you're like, cool. It's saying a bunch of things. Like, this Jason he's like super militant, right? He's just got traps and tunnels. He's like that at the end of the new Rambo movie, man. Like,
no, exactly. That's what I was gonna say later on. So let's just save that, because yes, he's very much like that. It's Derek Mears. I don't know what I said earlier, but I felt like I said it wrong. So
you did.
Okay, I thought so.
He's super prepared, right? Like, you don't come to Jason's backyard kicking dirt, because he will fuck your day. He will find you
already. I mean, there was so much buildup, Kevin.
He'll fuck you up.
Anyway, so yeah, and then we're done with this scene, and then we gotta.
Here, let me do this, because this is another thing I like. So she bolts back to the camp, and then she sees Richie or whatever. He's in the fucking trap, and he's like, fuck, you got to get out of here. But she ignores him, and she just goes over to her crispy friend, and she's like, bro, were you in that sleeping bag for like 2 hours at 350 degrees?
Yeah, I mean,
and she's like, I'm dead. I'm dead, dude.
Yeah, she had like 3rd-degree burn at best. I mean, she popped out of there well before she suffocated from the fucking flames, Who
knows, Max? She could have fell, broke her neck. We don't know. But she's dead. And then she looks over, and Richie dude's like, oh, fuck. Hey, other girl. And the girl's like, oh, fuck, Richie, let me pull your leg out of this trap a little bit.
Help me out. And she's just like, ow, this is sharp, and I don't know how to disengage this, so I'm just doing more damage, and you should already be dead.
It has like a latch, and then you hit it, and you can pull it. And he just looks up, and then the machete just parts right down the bridge of his nose. And I was
just like, hey, come on, Jason, he was already dead.
No, he wasn't. He was fine. Dude, that was great. I really like that, because it's kind of almost over her shoulder, and it just kind of sneaks.
It was pretty good.
It sneaks up on you, because this has
that. If I wasn't so bored already in this movie, I probably would have been like, oh, okay, cool.
No, yeah, it's a very reminiscent of that early 2000s-y horror movie bullshit where like the cameraman's the jump scares, so they just snap over to something, and they're like, oh, we startled you, right? And you're like, that's not scary, that's stupid, and you do it a bunch. Please stop it. But this one I thought was done really well. Like, I like the way it kind of the camera almost kind of glides over her shoulder a little bit, and you get to see it sink in his head, and it's kind of in one shot too. So I was like, all right, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't much I liked, but anyway, so I guess she runs some more. Doesn't he just eventually catch her or some shit? And you're just like, oh no, she's quote unquote dead, or something.
I think she like runs through the forest a little bit, and then it's
he's just like, boo, trapdoor, I'm here again. So
yeah, because that's how they, just to get to it, that's how they explain how he moves around the area so quickly, is basically the tunnel system that he has.
Yeah.
Cool idea, cool premise. I just think the way they, like I said, just get a little sloppy with it at the end.
Yeah. And then boom, credits or title card. Sorry, I spoke there. And then we see an Escalade, a 2010 Escalade, I imagine, driving, pulls up to a gas station, and our new batch of dickheads pours out, including our two minority characters, one being the Asian guy that we talked about before, and he's in the trunk space for some reason. I guess the Escalade can't fit 3 people in the back seat. I'm gonna just pull up something real quick, Kevin. Nope, definitely room for 7. There's room for 7.
I didn't really kind of understand that, even if you had all your camping gear in that Escalade, but you really don't, because you're just going to be at a cabin / house / great place.
There was like 2 bags, and he was sitting with them, and I was like, what the fuck's going on? Why is he back there?
Just really quick, just for a personal point of view, there is 2 female characters. One is possibly the girlfriend to the main alpha guy.
Oh, there's 3.
There is?
There's 3, yeah.
Oh, there's the reddish haired girl
couple.
And 2 blondes, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then
Panda Breaker / Killer Frost.
Right. And then Lawrence is the black dude, and then
their names don't matter.
Whatever.
Yeah, and Chewie. Someone was just like, I love Star Wars, we're naming this guy Chewie.
Yeah, so you have these group of characters that I kind of really don't believe would ever hang out together, because one dude's just a typical 80s alpha jock guy, and then the girls
are very concerned about cleanliness.
Well, hold on, I want to mention that later, because this is the part where
now we're mentioning shit later. Fuck you.
Where we have like the chance to introduce these characters and give them character instead of just kind of like archetypes, and they don't really do anything but talk. So like the Chewie character, I'm like, well, you're just like the comic relief, I guess.
Ooh, because he's an attempt at comic relief.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that it's funny. I'm just saying that's his role, right?
I guess he's never once given anything humorous to do. Yeah, it's just more of like he says it in a goofball way, and you're just like, I guess that funny? I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. So subjective, right? But there's times where he is given comedy fodder, where he mocks the house, he mocks a lot of the things in the garage, he drinks out of the shoe. So there's supposed to be air quote humorous things.
The shoe, I forgot about the shoe.
Right.
Oh, what a knee slapper that.
And I think the other dude, Lawrence or whatever, like he's not really given anything. So he kind of comes off like he's real
he is a uptight black man to be murdered. That's it.
Yeah, so he's supposed to be like uptight. He's really not, like, it's hard to really believe they're friends, because they kind of downplay the alpha guy. It's like, oh, we're just hanging out with him for the party or whatever. I
don't think he's uptight though.
Well, no, because she's like, well, he's like, I'm going to be a producer. She's like, for rap music? He's like, why's it got to be rap music?
Yeah, but that's the one and only time that happens. And then the rest of the time he's just...
He does it twice. And so I'm like, all right, is that his gimmick? But then he doesn't do it anymore, and he kind of just starts hanging out with Chewie because they're best friends. And I was like, well, not only do these characters never hang out and your vag to peen ratio is fucked up, why don't you just make one of the characters like the younger brother? Oh, I got to bring my younger brother. Then I'd believe it. And he's got his stupid friend to keep him entertained. Okay, cool. And I'm bringing my girls, and of course the girl brings the girlfriend.
Too many people.
No, dude, it's the same characters. You just give them motivation. You give them reason to be together, right? And then you give them something to do.
Well, like, they do have something to do. It's Trent's parents' house, and he wants to have a good weekend. That's
Right.
what he says. That's
And
their
he's the
motivation.
alpha bully, but then yet he's given this fucking Mr. Clean, like, oh no, my parents are gonna be real upset if you step on the floor.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? That doesn't fit your character.
My dad will be able to smell if there were 7 assholes in this place, okay? So keep it clean, motherfuckers.
Yeah, why didn't they just give that to another character? You know what I mean? Like that because you didn't have anything for the two girls. I couldn't put a gun to my head. I couldn't tell you which one was which.
One dies first, one dies second.
Means absolutely nothing.
Both die topless. So
It's super stupid.
yeah. So they stop at a gas station. They all pile out. We get to meet them. They all suck, especially the like bleach blonde guy, because it just seemed like he didn't even want to be in the movie. Like he's just here. Like he was just like, I'm gonna no sell and be a dick about everything anyone says. And I'm like, okay, so why do I care about what anyone's saying if you're just gonna like shit on everything they're saying instantly? But whatever. They go in. I don't even know what they're getting. They're getting some gas for the boat, I guess, and some snacks, and then we meet Moose, as I'm going to call him because that's what he's called on Supernatural, and he is clogging up the queue at the gas station, asking this man 20 questions about his missing sister. Have you seen her? Could you just look at the flyer? Can I post the flyer? I was like, dude. What are you doing? What are you doing? And the guy's just like, the owner's a real dickhead and he won't let you do that. And I was just like, and then Trent's just like, hey, buddy, you gonna buy something or fuck off? And I was like, listen, Trent, I know you're supposed to be the asshole, but you're actually right in this instance, okay? He is being an asshole sitting here being like, so can you just look over the flyer? I mean, I paid to have the flyer printed. Do you have some scissors? I got to cut my little, I have a little poll tag phone number in case anyone sees her.
Oh, that's a great flyer. Scissors? What are you going to do about that typo? And he's like, son of a bitch.
Oh, he's like, I spelled sister wrong. I loved how he didn't even put, my sister. He's like, have you seen Holly?
You seen Tiffany?
Tiffany? Have you seen Brittany? I don't even know. I don't even know what her name was because that's how fucking pointless and forgettable it was.
And they gave her a real glamour shots, headshot picture. I was like, hey, man, she probably won't look like that. Why don't you use the most normal, regular picture you can find when someone's missing? You don't use their fucking prom photo because no one's going to know.
That's how families do. They're just like, no, this one, she's beautiful. This is my little girl.
That doesn't make any sense.
I know it doesn't, Kevin. That's why families.
That's why they didn't find her, dude.
In charge of it. Yeah, that is definitely why they didn't find her. Yeah, so it's just a real weird scene. He doesn't even technically fuck off. He just fucks off to the side and kind of flaps his gums a little bit, and you're just like, okay.
Chewy's in there. He's buying snacks, and he got some rubbers. He got some Profos on the top, and they're like, "Bitch, you ain't fucking. We got all the sweet punani here." And then Chewy's
I would be like, okay, well then. Where's the bus stop home? Because what the fuck is the point then?
I don't know, because he's a loser, and I don't know why he's there. But Chewy's just like, it's for an experiment. Fuck you, movie. I never saw the experiment. You never did it. You didn't hold true to Chewy's character. I don't know what he's capable of. I just know he drinks piss out of a shoe. That's all you showed me.
Yeah.
Develop your characters, horror movie people. If you write a horror movie, develop your characters.
They just wanted to fucking shame Chewy or something and show condoms. They're just like, oh, condom, someone will laugh. And I'm like, well, I don't know who that person was, but God, I hope they laughed a lot or something.
And then I looked at his snack selection. It was piss poor.
It was bad. I don't know why you'd stop.
They were drinking Arrowhead water.
He was even just like, no, seriously, this one shithole gas station needs my flyer. And he's like, no, we don't. He's just like, no, you do. You need my flyer. Look at this place. It's shitty. It's shitty in here. She's definitely going to be seen in here.
If you blink, you'll drive right past it. You won't see us.
Yeah.
I get it. He's trying to canvas the area of the last time she was known. So he's doubling up on everything.
Him up. Fucking who cares at that point?
I know, dude.
They're going to rip him down. Guess what? Come back tomorrow. Put him up again.
Well, then, right? The girlfriend, I assume she's the girlfriend, looks at him. She's like, you're the dude from Supernatural. I'll listen to your story.
Can you get me on a CW show? And he's like, baby, I can. So, yeah. So. She just takes this weird instant interest in him. She's like, oh, you poor little fella. You lost your sister.
You know what would have worked? If she maybe had some trauma or something and built her as a character, I lost my sister too. Really? No, I just thought I'd relate with you because I want to be on the show. And he's like, cool. That's I would have took that. Please give her something. And then
instead of this weird non-existent sexual tension, I suspect.
Dude, that was like Little Sister Big Brother, bro.
Yeah,
I just saw no
exactly.
sexual.
It was so weird. I was just like, why are these
like
two characters
5 seconds, dude.
doing
You've been like
together?
Hey, Killer Frost, let's go to the camp. Let's go to my dad's house. We'll forget about the weekend. I know you've been bumming out about your family a little bit, you know. You don't even have to give me a lot. And she could be like, oh, I lost someone too, and I'm just trying to like forget about it and be up here. And he's like, well, then you know what I'm dealing with. She's like, I'll give up my life so you find your sister. And I'd be like, cool, that's all I need.
Cool, because that's totally what's going to happen.
Does it make sense? Don't know if I would
make any sense at all.
Don't know if I would do it, but you know what? You got a sentence worth of motivation, and that's all I need because you're probably going to die.
Yeah, and so somehow fucking Moose slips out, and he puts a flyer under this guy's, I don't know, windshield wiper or something.
No,
this thing
dude, it's on
it's
on the tailgate. It's on his fucking. It's in the back.
But it stays on with how shittily this guy drives.
He's like, fuck you,
all
dude.
the way to
tape. Sticky. You can't critique his driving. His driving was superb. He stayed in his lane. He did the speed limit. He used his signal. They were all buckled up.
I mean, the one guy was riding in the trunk. They're not all buckled up.
Hey,
he was not buckled, sir.
The movie didn't treat him like a person. I will not either.
God, Jesus Christ. And then I think after this, do we go to the house first and they all unload at the house, or does he get pulled over? I'm trying to remember.
I think it's really just interchangeable scene.
Okay, well, let's just cover him getting pulled over since that was way more useless than the other thing. So, Moose, as I'm going to continue calling him because his name doesn't matter. No one ever uses it, except for the sister one time, I think, maybe towards the end.
No, they do when he introduces them. It's Clay.
Yeah, it's Clay. Clay, you just mold me however you want as a character. And the director's like, not going to happen, bro. Not going to happen.
What's this character word you guys keep saying?
What's this? We don't have this word in Germany. What's this word? Character.
Well, they do have Kinder
Sounds
bars.
Disgusting.
Sounds complicated. Move on.
Complicated, and I hate it. And I just went to an Austrian accent because it's fucking hard to do German. So Moose gets pulled. Clay gets pulled over, and this cop, this fucking Butternuts cop, is just
one-town cop.
He's like, "Listen, Clay, I saw you riding around. What are you doing back here? Your sister's not here, motherfucker." And he's just like, "I know she's here. My mama died from the cancer, and she didn't show up to the funeral. That's how I know she's still alive and definitely not murdered in this town."
The cop would have been like, you know, Camp Blood's around here, and there's a bunch of murders we can never figure out.
Yeah, the cop's just like, one of them. Listen, I put my 2 10-year veterans on the case. Maybe she just ran off with her boyfriend.
Yeah, I would believe that.
And then he was just like, let me just shoot a fucking huge hole in that theory. She loved my mama. She'd never miss her dying.
Fuck you, copper.
She would never miss her funeral after her dying. And she definitely would have been there for the fucking funeral or the reading of the will.
Let me get
and she would definitely have been there when we fucking sued each other for the rights to the house because the will was real fucked up and lopsided towards her favor. He's like, so I'm going to have to say, no, my sister's definitely alive. And so Clay's just like, I'm just going to keep, I guess, harassing this town to see if they've seen my sister. And then we go to the rich person's house who doesn't know. Yeah, Trent doesn't know anything about this house.
Or Trent?
No, it's Trent. Because he also played another Trent in another movie. So he's just got a real Trent face, this guy.
Trent. And his name's Travis. He's just like, damn it, dude.
He's like Travis Van Winkler or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're at the house. He's just bossing people around like just a jockey shithead. He's like, hey.
Get your feet off the table, man.
Yeah, he's like, hey, fake blonde guy. Can you go take this
trash out
and get the trash out of the car, take the boat. Like they all go in, they're just like, whoa, you're rich. And I was just like, that house isn't that great, but whatever.
It's pretty great, dude. I thought it was great.
It's all right.
The whole back wall.
I just don't understand this motivation of let's go to this house super far out. None of us are outdoorsy people.
And they're all shocked when their phones don't work and shit.
Yeah, and it's like you have no internet. Like you're definitely just want to fuck around on the internet, and then you go to this place where it's like you can only have fun if you go outside, and they're like, we're not gonna do that.
Yeah, at least
it's like, why are you here?
If they would have been like a club of friends or some estranged friends, or they're about to go to college or something, just give me something corny and I'll go.
Just really into D&D, and they're just there for a fucking killer sesh. I would believe the shit out of that, okay? But not a bunch of people that are just like, we just want to watch TV and be on our phones.
Well, like the thing,
I don't believe you're going to the middle of nowhere for the weekend.
So there's a part later on with Dirty Blonde and one of the other blonde girls. They go to the boat. He's like, go gas up the boat. This is kind of just a parallel scene.
And don't drive my boat. Only I drive my boat. And he's just like, I knew the minute he said that, I was going to fucking drive that boat.
I was like, are you guys friends? Or like, what is this?
I was just like, I don't believe Trent has any friends. I don't believe any of these people even knew each other before like fucking 6 a.m. casting call.
Yeah. And they see that was the magic to Hackers, everyone. They hung out before they started filming. So it felt real natural when they were on screen. Check out our episode.
They might do a sequel/reboot.
So check out our episode covering Hackers, where you can hear what a trip down memory lane that was for one of us.
What an experience it was for the other one of us.
Which one? Check it out. Find out. So they're doing the boat thing, and I'm like, oh, they're going to come out here and go wakeboarding or like, tubing. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, that's fun.
Like, just, I don't know, ride around in a boat. Like,
that's fun
cool
too.
That's fun too. That's what I would do. Just ride around in a boat,
Hey, look, I'm on a boat.
You got your boat license? I don't think so, fucking douchebag.
You're on Crystal Lake, bitch. Don't matter.
Crystal Lake don't care. No rules on Crystal Lake.
That's what I heard.
This is fucking Jason's Crystal Lake. He don't give a fuck about fucking
What's that one cop gonna do? There's like one cop.
He's just like, you damn kids and your... Where are my 10-year veterans? I need 2 of them on this case. No, he said he had 2 10-year veterans.
I didn't see him. I just saw him twice. He's a liar. They must have retired.
They did shortly after that. They're like, I've never had to fucking close so many goddamn cold cases as I have in this town.
At Camp Blood, I've never seen so many chopped up teenagers. I gotta fucking call it quits.
No, that's not true because, Jason cleans up. He's environmentally sound.
This Jason does. He's a stealth. He's like fucking Metal Gear Solid. I was never there.
He's like, everything gets hidden in a locker. Myself, bodies, everything.
I'm like the fucking breeze, bitch. And I'm out. You're like, wow.
Cha cha cha, ma ma ma, cha cha cha, ma ma.
He's good.
Who's cha cha ma ma-ing me, huh? Where are you, Jason? He's like, cha cha cha.
I'm looking for the Kiki Mama. No, dude, we can't do that one.
No, that costs money. We're doing the cha cha mama.
He's like, oh, that sounds nice too.
That sounds all right, I guess. I mean, not really. It kind of sounds shitty. It annoyed me every time. I was just like, man, this is fucked up. I wish Kevin hadn't pointed this out to me before I watched it. Now I can't stop fucking hearing how annoying it is, but whatever. So, yeah, so everyone's getting set up in the house. Boat people are going and they're doing the boat thing.
Dude, they're not doing the bike. They're not doing the boat thing. This chick is ex-gaming. She's so good at wakeboarding.
But she's doing it topless?
Yeah, that's, dude, 10 out of 10. Like, right? I was just like, dude, she's shredding and she got her titties out. Killed it.
He's just like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm just going to drive you around tits free and I'm just going to fucking
he takes his shirt off. I took my shirt off. I was like, fuck yeah.
He's like, fucking no shirts. Yay, I love it. I was just like, that was the weirdest response.
That was my response. I was watching it. I was like, fuck this.
He's like, when she comes back on the boat, I definitely want to have some nipple on nipple. I do not want any fucking shirt in the way. Okay. Mm-hmm. And she might get my shirt wet. Let's be honest. That's a dope shirt.
It was.
I don't even remember.
It said "fuck Christmas" on it, dude.
Oh,
I didn't get it, and I think maybe it was an inside joke that I was not privy to.
Yeah, it was a Michael Bayism. He's known for saying that on set. He's like, "All right, fuck Christmas. Let's go in 5."
I don't know if Michael Bay knew this movie came out. I don't know.
No, he knew because he had to write a couple checks or something. So.
I don't know if he does, dude.
I'm pretty sure he's all up in everything he touches.
I'm pretty sure he gives nothing unless it's like Coke shaped that he doesn't give a fuck.
He's like, is that a hooker or some blow for me to do on the set of Bad Boys 2? Not allegedly. Okay, then. I don't care. Anyway. I don't know why I said that. Anyway, I mean, I do know why. But yeah, so they're boating, and then fucking fake blonde, he gets a arrow to the
May I, Dustin?
eye. No, because this is my favorite part, and you've taken all the kills. He gets an arrow to the eye. He's very shocked by this as he dies.
It's a little above his eye through his skull, but yeah, you got it.
Oh, I should mention she has fallen off. He's doubling back. Okay.
She bailed.
Yeah, she bailed and hit hard, chafed the nips. It was no bueno. That's why you wake with a shirt, not with a nip.
She's big balls, dude. You got it. Where's your life vest? Was what I was thinking. I was like, this is not safe.
And she disconnected. She disconnected from that board. I was like, was that board even attached to you? What is going on, lady?
If that wasn't attached. She's real good.
Yeah, it wasn't. Because I saw it fly off instantly. I was like, that doesn't seem like how you wakeboard, but okay. Okay. And so he's doubling back around to pick her up. Jason's like, whoop, targets him just above the eye, takes him out.
Miles out, dude.
Yeah, 200. You're just like, I didn't even know Jason was going to be in this scene already. What the fuck, man? He's just like, I heard boat noises, and I was like, where is your Jason Voorhees boat pass? Okay, you did not get one from me. Eat a fucking bow and arrow in the head. So then this guy dies, and the boat just is like, and she's just like, hey, don't you see me? I should move, but I'm going to let this boat give me a concussion. So
in all honesty,
gets clipped
dude,
by the boat.
There's no way she could have got out of the way of that.
No, but I mean, there's still dive down, make some sort of attempt, Kevin.
Nah, dude,
fool me with some sort of effort other than being like,
okay,
oops, I guess a boat's about to hit me.
So she's concussed.
Do you want to talk about fight or flight with the girl in the tent? This woman's just like, a boat's barreling down on me.
We got to remember, she thinks Homeboy's there and he's going to pull up and pick her up. So I think initially she's thinking, it's not like a car. Yeah, it's not like a car where you could be like, hey, no one's clearly driving. I should dive out of the road. It's more of like,
for sure. I mean, I get that, but still,
I gave it to her.
There was a point in which it was like, he's not turning. And I'm a superb wakeboarder. I should know that if that boat has not turned by now, I'm going to get hit by a boat. Like, I just feel like those two things go hand in hand. Like, you don't get picked up by a boat and then just not know when a boat's going to hit you. I just feel like that would be knowledge she would have. I could be wrong.
I like I said, I gave it to her with everything going on. I don't think she suspects her getting hit, and she's probably, like you said, wakeboarder. She's probably been picked up like that 1,000,000 times.
No, I think she would probably kick the person's ass if she was picked up like that 1,000,000 times. But anyway, so she gets hit in the head, and my favorite scene of the entire movie, Kevin, we cut to Jason, and he drops the bow and arrow down, or like the bow down, like he's just like, oops, I didn't mean to do that. like he didn't want anyone to see that he had a bow in his hand. Like, he just drops it down, like, behind a bush, like, whoops, didn't see that, did you? Did you see that? Tell me you didn't see that.
I had a different reaction to that.
Why did I only bring one bow and arrow? I don't know, but I only brought one. Dude, he drops it down like, oops. Like, I couldn't not see it that way. He was just like, oh, shit, out of the shot? Sorry about that, guys. So, what was your take on that, Kevin?
I was just like, this guy sure does use a lot of different things to kill people.
That, too. He was just like, never the same way twice. It gets real boring.
I was kind of like, well, I mean, you kind of have your weapons he's synonymous with, and they kind of make those features kind of part of the character.
Someone saw the new Rambo, travel back in time. They were like, listen, bow and arrow in caves. Okay.
I mean, I kind of like the idea of him just using whatever he could, but it's a lot of real premeditated when I see a bow and a single arrow being brought, where he just knew, I'm going to snipe this one, and I'm going to see where the day takes me on the second one. And I was like,
and then he's just like, oops. You didn't see that, did you? I'm more of a machete guy. I don't want people to know I use.
Like, he just shot it, and he was kind of like, yeah, man. What's on the menu next? I was like, I don't know, dude. You got like a real cornucopia killing motherfuckers. So I don't know.
Here's the thing. So then she comes up. She's bleeding and concussed.
So I like this
coherent enough to see him standing on the shore, and she's just like, "What are you doing?" And he's just like, definitely not bow and arrowing your boyfriend because I hit it. You cannot see the bow in my hand.
So we've kind of skipped out of a line here, but because Jason goes to this little farmer guy that the clay guy goes to, this dude that runs this dude's farm. Yeah, because the clay guy
he doesn't have the mask then.
No, he does. He has the mask when he meets.
Okay. Well, then let's just backtrack then.
Well, no, it's fine right here because
no, because there's fun to be had with that too, though.
Well, no, it's fine right here. Let's just finish this part.
That's fine. All right, okay.
So I really like this scene when she's in the water. They kind of put the camera in halfway, and I thought they did a really good job of kind of showing her confusion from being hit in the head, and then the water's kind of splashing on her, and she's kind of like, she's just super like fucked up from it, right?
From a boat.
She, yeah, I was there, I saw.
For the audience, so they don't forget.
Yeah, like, oh, should this boat have fucking killed her? And, yeah, maybe.
I mean, Jason kind of looks like, damn it, this is why I only brought one arrow. I thought the boat would do the rest. Now I gotta work.
So she's frantically like looking around on like the fucking all around, and then she sees nothing, and then she sees Jason standing there like, you got to come out of that water sometime. I was like, you do. And she's like, fuck this. And she goes under the jetty or the dock or whatever. And she goes, and then she's just like, that dickhead ain't coming down here. He ain't getting that coat wet. That coat's pretty sick. And then funk.
Like, and then he pulls her up so you can see the boobs one more time.
And I guess if we're doing a boob off, hers are better than the girls at the campsite. I said it.
Yeah. No, they were.
They had nice. They were supple.
Probably not the best though.
The best, dude. What are you body shaming her for? I'm clearly comparing her. I'm not shaming any of them.
No, I'm not. I'm saying out of the bunch. I'm not shaming any of them by saying she didn't have the best set. Okay. Also, I think you're body shaming them by comparing them, but I'm just saying anyway.
No, they had to take that up with each other, all right? Because one was natural, and then they saved the third for last, and she has the best. If you want to just
that's what I was trying to say.
If you just have a big cat fight with it and just turning sisters against
you're the one
other.
trying to project body shaming on me while you're body shaming. So there you go. You've been called out. Called out.
There's no shame in those bodies, ladies.
Yeah, well, I don't see how I said she didn't have the best was body shaming her. I just said she didn't have the best of the three. But you didn't let me finish my sentence. You were just like, body shaming!
Amen. I know it when I hear it.
No, obviously you don't because you fucked up. But anyway.
She gets stabbed.
Yeah, my problem with this part is like, okay, listen, everybody. If you are hiding under a dock, find the 2x4, okay? Because it's thicker. All right? She would not have been head dunked if she'd been under that 2x4.
Everyone get this. Because when you get hit in the head with the boat, some psycho killer's gonna kill you.
Under the
2x4.
Yeah, she was just like, he'll definitely not hear me gasping for air and keeping afloat. And then he was just like, got you. Done.
Well, listen, you also have to remember you're at the safety of your couch watching this. You got to kind of put yourself in the moment a little bit and think like when people rationally
2x4. Come on, man.
When people
put
rationally
more wood
think
around you
day to day, and now look out your fucking window. Now you want to take that thought process and put someone that's you've been hit, you've been attacked, you're disoriented, you don't know what's going on, and there's a guy that's going to kill you, and your titties are out. Put all that on top of one thing. I don't think you're thinking fucking 2x4. We got a 2x4 here. I can see the
that's
flow
my first fucking thought.
Well, then you will live
especially
forever,
if my titties are out. Okay,
my
titties are out. I'm definitely thinking 2x4.
If you're in a slasher movie, dude, you're riding out with the credits, then, bro. That's you just told me. You're going to live forever. You're a fucking Highlander in any horror movie. I get it.
Pretty much, yes. All right.
So we go back to our big man Clay. He's still canvassing the area, putting these bootleg ass signs up. I was like, Clay, what if it rains? That doesn't even look like high quality paper. This sucks.
He's driving down really shitty roads. He very slowly on a motorcycle. He is. He's very awkward on it.
He doesn't have a helmet. He doesn't give a fuck about any safety laws.
He's like, did you see my hair? I'm not putting a helmet on this hair. Are you kidding me? This hair is the moneymaker.
This movie is just dangerous.
Yeah, so the first place he goes is some old lady's house. He decides to tie his shoe in front of her door, and this German Shepherd just is just like, hey, I'm a German Shepherd. This is what we do. We protect our home. And I'm going to bark at you a lot. Okay? This scared my dog, by the way. My dog was just like, "Hey, fucking German Shepherd, what the fuck?" I was just like, "It's okay, it's just a fucking movie. It's a shitty one at that." And he's like, "Have you seen my sister?" And she's like, "If your sister's lost here, she's dead."
And then the credits rolled.
That would have been great.
Oh.
I'm like, "Oh, fair enough. Thank you, movie." And she's like, "He just wants to be left alone." And that's it. That's our only clue for Clay. He's like, "Who's he? Who's he? Anyone? Who's he?" Thanks, you fucking old bag of shit. Fucking, I'm gonna leave this flyer on your fucking door, you dickhead. And then he's off to the next.
He just looks confused of like, what?
Yeah, it's because this is like early in his acting career, and this is pretty much his only look he could do. Is just confused.
No, it wasn't. He did this in the middle of Supernatural. You're crazy.
What? Yeah, no, but if you watch the middle of Supernatural, he was still learning how to act. Okay, like he still only had one facial expression, confused. So it's kind of the only facial expression he has, actually, that I think about it. So, as someone who's watched, all Supernatural,
you stand alone on this because you better mind your mouth. Motherfuckers love this guy. I'm never going to shit on him because he is.
Hey man, they loved him until that bar fight in Texas. Okay,
I don't know. I think you can probably just say sorry and still be fine.
Maybe. No, everyone knows he's the fucking loose lips that are sinking that ship. Okay, all right.
Yeah, man,
he's got that man myself. Okay,
he's got that Supernatural money. He's fine forever.
No, fine. Syndication for life. Anyway, so then he goes to fucking Farmer John's farm, and there's a man using a wood chipper, and fucking genius Clay here is just like, "Excuse me, there."
Clay's never taken a shop class.
He is not. I was like, dude, you're gonna put that man's hand through a fucking wood chipper.
So like, this movie's so unsafe. It really bothered me.
I know. This part pissed me off so bad. I was like, dude, he's using a wood chipper, and you're just like, excuse me, my stupid flyer's fucking more important. Could you turn that shit off? Scares this man half to death because he almost went into the wood chipper, and he's just like, what the fucking fuck, man? You're lucky this non-existent farmer didn't come out and shoot you with a squirrel gun, okay? Mm-hmm. And then he's just like, I'm looking for my sister. And he's like, listen, you just interrupted me working for a flyer for a dead girl. And then this guy's like, no, I'd remember if I'd seen her because I totally just got instant pervy.
Well, I mean, we have to have this weird pervy character that just is cannon fodder. Dude, so the audience could go, you take that, pervy.
Yeah, but I did. And here's another thing. Why did Jason kill this guy? So Clay fucks off, and then we follow this guy. He's like, do you want some weed? I found some weed. And I guess because he took the weed, Jason's just like, hey, man, that's my weed I found.
Listen, Dustin, you don't really get much, right? You haven't followed a thing that's happened in this movie. You're in Jason's backyard. You fucking piss wrong. He wants to be left alone. You've disturbed his sanctuary. You fuck with his shit. You get fucking wrecked.
And he left. Like, who cares?
Dude, if I went to your house, took your shit and left, you'd be like, I gotta get revenge.
He doesn't smoke the marijuana, Kevin.
Dude,
okay, was he using it for medicinal reasons to calm down? Because it's not working. It's not fucking working.
I'm just disappointed that you don't understand.
It was just so weird for him to just like suddenly pop up over there and be like, hey man, I gotta kill you while you're like tongue kissing this fucking Hustler magazine in 2009, where I was just like, Jesus Christ.
That's hilarious.
We have iPhones. What are you doing?
Dude, get off your technology. He's in the sticks where they get no service, asshole. How's he gonna fucking pull up nothing on his iPhone when he gets no service? Come on, dude.
It was just, I was just like, ugh, this is so long of a scene. Just kill him already. And so then Jason snaps on a stick up in the attic. I don't know how there's sticks up there. But he's like, I'm going to go investigate this attic. It's my attic, but I don't remember the things that are up here. It's a lot of shit. And then he finds a mannequin. He starts talking dirty to the mannequin. And then Jason's like, dude, enough. Okay? I got to fucking kill you. Because, like, seriously, the things you're saying to this mannequin are making me blush. And I don't like that. Okay? So
this basically, this whole scene is that we needed a character to take Jason's... So he's not Sack Jason or he's Bandits Jason. So this guy, Jason goes to jack him, and for whatever reason, he turns, and this guy gets like some sort of offense on him, which is very, very rare in this movie. And because fucking Jason's got Krav Maga skills and shit. He pulls the mask off, and then he's like, "What in the fuck?" And then Jason just like kills him. I can't even remember.
Don't talk about my deformities.
I can't even remember what he does. They almost show you his face, but that's kind of like the only thing they have, so they want to keep it hidden.
He hatchet machetes him through that dome again. Another machete dome kill. So, because I remember, I was just like, "Oh, that's weird that they use this already again."
So. Maybe this is the extended cut. And then Jason's like, it's basically like a fucking damn antique store blew up in this fucking attic or whatever. So he looks over and he sees this mask that's kind of patterned off Friday 3 mask, just the way the paint is and set up on the mask. And he's just like, yeah, that's sick. I'll take that. And then he puts it on. He's like, yeah.
And then he takes 5 minutes to see how he looks like in the mirror with it. He's just like, yeah, this is pretty radical. Yeah, this is nice. Let me get a look at this angle here, you know?
You also got to think, if this is a reboot for it, it's the first introduction to this character. This is like a monumental moment, right? This doesn't technically happen until like the 3rd movie or something. Like he doesn't get this mask, so maybe the 4th. I can't remember. But so they try to make it a scene. It could have been done better, but it's still kind of cool. I did like the style of the mask. I like the shape and the colors for it.
Fine too.
I thought it looked cool. And then we go off to the boat shenanigans, and then that gives everybody.
No, it's like 5 minutes. Yeah, now that I think about it, it's like 5 minutes after he takes the guy's head off. I'm sorry, I was wrong. He decapitates him. 5 minutes after he decapitates him, he's just at the lake with the bow and the one arrow. He's just like thump. You're just like, wow, really? Huh. In the meanwhile, fucking Clay has shown up to the house, and he has forgotten everyone's faces.
He forgot what a big, the Escalade's not there, so that's kind of like the big giveaway, so it's fine.
Yeah, I guess.
I gave it to him.
It's the only woman that showed you compassion in a convenience store, and you're just like, she's like, you don't remember me? And he's just like, no. And then he's like, oh, dickhead boyfriend. Yeah.
She's real forgettable. I wouldn't have remembered her.
Yeah, and she's just like, do you want to come in for a drink? And he's just like, I don't think your boyfriend will like that. And I was like, no, her boyfriend is definitely not going to like that. And then she's like, it'll be fine. And he's like, okay. And then it wasn't fine.
It wasn't fine.
Like, what the fuck, man?
And he didn't like it. All the things that Clay thought would happen pretty much happened.
And I was just like, why did this happen? We did not need this. They could have just talked, and she could have been like, this guy's a prick.
But
I'm just going to go with this other guy because he's going to give me the WB money.
If you would have had my version of kind of what we had, of like they had that bond of the loss, she would have been more susceptible. Like, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I just wanted to tell you that I experienced something similar. And he could be like, what? That's crazy. He's like, so whatever I can do to help, because I know what it feels like. She doesn't have to open up her heart. She can just be like, he's like, yeah, I'm still hanging my signs. Let me give you a hand. That's it. Like, I would have took that, and she could have stepped out. She's like, do you want something to drink or eat really quick before we go? He'd be like, no, I just appreciate this. Thank you. And then he can be like, guys, she's like, guys, I'm peacing out. I'll be back in an hour. I'm going to go run to the store or something. I forgot something. I'm going to go get some tampons. Like, am I right, ladies? And then they're all just like, what? And then she's out of the movie, and she can go hang out with fucking Clay.
Yeah, like anything, that would have made sense. Instead, she's just like, hey, I'm going to blow my entire fun weekend helping this guy do stuff. And he has no plan of action.
Because there's no connection, right? And he doesn't have a story. That Clay's character motivation is to hang pictures. Like, I think
it's not to find his sister. It's to hang the pictures of his sister.
And he's just asking, have you seen my sister?
Have you seen her? Not, do you know where she is? Have you seen her?
Yeah. And I'm just like, well,
do you know what she looks like? Is this picture accurate? And they're just like, it's not. And he's like, ha 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 ha, you have seen her.
Yeah, they could have been like, "Oh, is this a recent picture?" He's like,
"I wouldn't have been able to recognize her from that."
I can't recognize her out of the fucking cast. So I don't know if I could find. I mean, I'm just kind of like, all these girls look the same. Yeah, and like it would have been anything to help his character. Been like, yeah, I've been up here a couple of months. I tried to work with the cops, but it's just nothing. I'm just taking it upon myself.
We just know that the cop tells us he's back. We don't know how many times. We don't know for how long. I mean, we know that because Comic Sans told us 6 months, but you know, it was just like, okay, so are we like we spend plenty of time talking in this movie. That's the weird thing. There's plenty of time talking. No one says anything useful. Well, yeah, the story, to the characters.
Well, nothing moves it forward, right?
Yeah,
we're just kind of waiting to the point where we run out of movie.
Like, hey, are you on the lake? Fucking, it's murder time. Okay,
yeah, just like, are you in my backyard? Because I gotta do some killing while that guy hangs up pictures. So we kind of got 2 movies going here. Everybody enjoy, okay? I'm gonna go snipe this dude. I'm gonna go one shot him, and then I'm gonna one shot her. I'm gonna go one shot this dude. This is,
you know what? Everything's really just one shot, one kill with me. Okay.
I kind of don't fuck around, so I hope you enjoy.
Do it any other way.
All right.
Yeah. So they go wandering off. He's like, I'm gonna go check out the other side of the lake. They ride the motorcycle over awkwardly together. Yeah, for a very long time. It gets dark, and they get to the camp. It looks like it's in good condition. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that was a really good condition camp. Plenty of canoes. You know, Jason's really doing good on the groundwork or groundkeeping is all I'm saying.
But really quick, the Lawrence character, the Chewie character, the other girl, and then the Trent, they're kind of all just stuck in the same scene.
No. We only have... Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah.
They're just kind of like slightly bickering, playing like beer pong, just bickering and hanging out, smoking. They're getting
Lucille, which has a bong. A bong
so, yeah,
in a special case.
I think they're trying to create rapport with each other, but I don't believe they're friends, and they all just kind of bicker. It's like a bad sitcom. And then,
like, Trent loses beer pong. He's like, "My house, my rules. I'm not drinking from your sneaker." And
he's not even a fun bad guy, right? He's not even a bad guy. He's just kind of like the character that says
just a germaphobe. Really,
he's just the character that says annoying shit loudly. While the Chewie guy tries to be humorous, I think the Lawrence guy tries to be humorous, but they don't play off each other. The Lawrence guy really just does nothing to do.
Yeah, he has nothing to do.
The blonde girl does even less. She just has her little camcorder. She's like, "You want to put it in my fucking vagina later? I'll film it."
She's just like, "I gotta film everything," and I was just like, "Okay."
She was chatterbait before it was cool.
Yeah, no one's doing anything interesting. This is going to be the boringest footage ever, unless you just straight shove that camera in your vagina. Because otherwise, nothing else is happening.
Unless she cuts it really well and then puts like some crazy town underneath it, I'd probably watch it twice, like and subscribe.
Like, there you go. There was our monumental weekend.
I'm like, fucking killer. Why didn't you invite me?
These fucking fast edits are amazing. Makes it look like you had so much fun.
I like the jump cuts because Clay has a jump cut when he leaves the front door with his bag. It's on his shoulder, then it's on his hand, then it's on his shoulder again. I love that. She's like, I did that. Like, you don't understand movies.
Yeah, there was something. Oh man, there was a really bad jump cut that I noticed too.
It was his duffel bag. That was the only one that
there was one over with the head. With the 5 of them. There was one I know. I don't remember it now, so I'm not even gonna bother. But there was another one that I was just like, "What the fuck?" But I can't recall.
And now that we have Clay and Rebecca,
fucking who cares? No, she never gives her name.
Jenna.
She never says her name.
So now that we have Clay and Jenna at the Camp Crystal Lake campsite, this movie, a lot of it, what do you probably say? Like 45% of it happens at night, maybe even 55%. Pretty good percentage, right?
Again, it just goes 9 a.m. to midnight instantly.
Well, yeah, there's no dusk, right?
There's no dusk. There's no sunsets. This town sucks. So,
but when it's literally, I've been in areas where the moonlight is out and it's really bright. Yeah. This whole movie, it's lit so poorly at nighttime. There's fucking hard shadows at night when they're cutting through the forest, and it fucking floored me. I was like, my God, like, where is this light source coming from? And this is like when they're in the woods.
I'm surprised you can see that through the horrible gray filter that's over the entire movie.
No, I know. Well,
this whole movie was painful and hard to look at because you're just like, what is this?
No,
why is it so gray?
It's a visually ugly movie. Like when it comes to colors and like it's all saturated. It's very muddy and cloudy looking in a way. But at night, Oh my God, it's lit so heavy and hard on like the side. It's just, if you watch the angles and the light sources, there's all these hard shadows, and I'm like,
I
dude,
will
this
never
is.
watch this again. So
Well, I just noticed it, and I just like this, like they're cutting across the trees, and I can see it on the side of the trees off to the fucking
yeah,
house. I'm like, bro, are they at a baseball game right now?
they are little league games happening. Jason doesn't fuck with the little league because the dads are insane. He's just like, no, I tried that once. I let them have their field. Fuck it. Fucking Camp Crystal Lake
Yeah.
little leaguers. I let them go. I let them go.
It really
Right.
bothered me, and I think that was another reason why you had no sense of time in the day. Is just
Yeah.
I get it. It was a low budget movie in the sense of like, hey, we don't, and it's more expensive to shoot at night. I get it. So maybe it was a lot of night for day kind of stuff.
Oh no,
where-
there was a ton of night for day.
So,
There like when
the day, no, day for night.
day for night, yeah. When they're fleeing the camp, I was just like, that's a daytime scene. But
No, when they're fleeing the camp, I thought it was daytime, and then I was like, you guys
No,
were you guys were there for a long time, and then I was like, oh fuck, it's night. Oh my bad. Oh wait,
it
you're
was just supposed to be. Yeah, they're like
Right.
it's really our bad. We're really bad at it.
Oh.
So yeah, they're there. They look around in the camp. They find more rotten food, and he's like, let's check every single cabin, and that's where they spend their time for most of the. That's what they do the entire day.
Listen, not one sign got hung. I was very
Not
disappointed in his progression
But
of
I
the
was
character.
just like, every single cabin, and she's just like, okay, I'm game.
I get it, man. Like she could be tied and bound or something. You don't really know what you're up against. It could be. The thing is, though,
It would have taken me all day to go in and out of those cabins.
it wouldn't have taken you all day. But
45 minutes, you know?
isn't there already a history of this area having a lot of murders, and he's going
No
back
one
to this
talks
place?
about it.
I know no one talks about it, but the geek in the beginning knew all about it. He knew it down
He's
to
dead,
the fucking.
Kevin. He's dead, okay?
The story died with him.
Clay doesn't hang out with Wade's fucking friend that knows everything, okay?
Fucking nerd over here talking about
Clay-
some geeks.
Clay fucking left town because of people like Wade. He was like, I can't deal with my dead, dying mama, and I can't deal with Wade and his fucking shithead friends that know everything about every other town.
That's
So-
true. But while they're
This guy didn't
rummaging
even have
around,
tape to hang his flyers, Kevin. You think
they
this
were
motherfucker?
pre-taped. He probably had that good 3M shit on the back.
No,
That's what.
he didn't.
That's why
Did
it's
you
stuck on that
see his
truck.
Shitty fucking exactly. That stuck on the truck because someone
No,
they were like
3M.
PA with some fucking tape. Get this on here. We need it to stick. So, but yeah. So they check all day.
They're rummaging through the cabins and stuff, just looking for any signs. And then, lo and behold, we go underneath it and we hear like they trip a little bell, a little alarm thing.
Yeah.
And Tiffany's underground, and she's just like, "What? The little bells go off. I'm camped up by the little bells. Ooh, Papa Jason's gonna come home.
Hello?
Papa Jason's gonna hear
Hello?
the bells. Don't let Papa Jason hear the bells. He's gonna do more killing."
He's gonna do more killing. He's gonna keep giving me fucking rats to eat. I don't even know how I've been alive for 6 months. He's been feeding me rotten food
She
from
looked
30 years
great.
ago.
She looked great for 6 months.
Yeah, she was under there for 6 months. I was like,
Didn't
your
look that
shirt's
healthy. Didn't look
barely
sick.
hurt.
She looked like
Like-
she was there for 6 minutes.
probably because they were like, okay, and he's captured you now. We're gonna film all your scenes now.
Oh, dude, I would have been like, "Come here. We're gonna pour some water on you and some dirt and then some water again, and that's what you're gonna look. You're a little oily and nasty."
And she was like, no,
I'm like, "All right,
I'm not. That's for the other girls.
all right,
That's
speed
for the wait.
rolling. Let's shoot this."
Yeah. So we discover the sister's alive. She's underground. Oh wait, no, that's when they're fleeing. They trip that rope. But yeah, so Jason shows up and they hide instantly. He drops
got
his
it.
bag like a fucking big dumbass rookie he is. They hide under the canoes, and then Jason's just like, fucking bag? Fucking litter? Someone's littering in my fucking camp? Are you serious? And he puts on the work lights, and I was just like, Jesus criminy, Jason, you have done an amazing job keeping this camp running
Dude,
on the
these
outside.
work-
You really got to learn how to do the inside. There's a lot of rotting food, though. Okay? Like, a lot.
He's a master craftsman, dude. Like the
is.
lighting, I was just like, "Wow, dude, your electrical skills, bravo."
Lighting, the canoes, and then he fucking knew instantly. He knew I better check under all these canoes, but I gotta start at the top and work my way to the bottom.
You know what?
And
He
then
knows
they
all the
stood
time.
10 feet from him, peeking out behind the giant like target practice dummy
No,
thing.
dude. She might as well be over his shoulder the way she's looking at him.
She's like, "What are you doing? What are you looking for there?"
I've been like, bitch, you want to fucking hide? Get
She's
your
like,
big
I
fucking
like-
head down.
I like big tall guys. Do you see this other big tall guy? You're taller than him.
He's
Like, let's go.
He's got a billion Lumi's fucking light system over here. Looks like Field of Dreams over here. You're just standing there. Like,
Oh, it's very Field of Dreams. He was just like, fucking Costner, get out of here. Come on, man. No,
you would
come
have
on.
crouched down? And she's just staring at him. And I was like, listen, he cleans and whacks and buffs those fucking
It's
canoes.
like
they look great. He's going to fucking come over here and fuck you up.
covered your own mouth when you saw a decapitated body. But now you're just like staring a hole in the back of his head.
That's another thing. No one cared. If you were a dead body in here, no one sold it. They were just like, if you were dead, the girls didn't react. Both of them do the mouth cover breathing.
I was like, what? No. What? That doesn't. No. He should be covering your mouth and being like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, like I think the girls go to that too many times. I think they should have only done that in super intense.
She was like practice making out with her hand. She was like, oh God, he's killed someone. I was like, what are you doing? Stop it. You're moving around way too much. Okay. That's not how you stop yourself from screaming. Okay. You don't move the hand more.
So Jason's like flipping the canoes and shit. And they're just like,
he's
oh
pissed.
shit.
He's like, someone has fucking littered.
And then he goes in the bag and he's just like, he throws it at fucking Tiffany. He's like, somebody
can't fucking read.
Oh man.
So
if he can set up that electrical, he can read.
So no, he can't.
He's union.
Yeah, he's like, I got my fucking union card. I carried my cable. Fuck you all. And so he's like, I'm taking this bag, taking this dead body, I'm going back to my shithole. And then they're like, we got to get out of here. We have to call the cops because he killed a man.
Smart, sensible, right? Guy with a body. I better just call cops. No heroes here.
Don't go to the cops. And so we leave our motorcycle because we don't remember. It's dark now. We don't remember.
That thing starts up. Jason's going to be on your nuts in 2 seconds.
What? So they run across the entire lake? Because remember, Kevin, we're on the other side of the lake.
I know. I played the game.
Go to
the big map
on the other side of the lake. Okay, and so that's when they hit the tripwire. The bell rings. Jason doesn't hear it because he's he's real pissed about the litter still. And then that's when we learn that the sister's still alive. And she's like, help, help. And then he shows up. He's pissed. He throws the bag at her.
He starts kicking his own shit around.
Yeah, he starts macheting or sharpening his machete, and then he remembers how it killed his mom. And I'm like, why are you using that?
I do like that. I did like him sharpening the machete instantly, and I was like, dude, he needs to come down. That's his close his eyes, count to 10. So he can fucking
work today. So
Serenity now. His serenity is sharpening that fucking blade. I like that scene. And she's looking at him like she's the only one that kind of really sold fear to me. I thought she did a pretty decent job.
Yeah, she did. Yeah,
she was the only one. Everyone else was
6 months down there to learn it, though.
That's true. Everyone else was just like, bah.
They were like, is this guy actually going to kill me? I mean, he's dressed weird, but is he? Oh, I'm dead. Is that boat coming at me? Boom.
So he's like real pissed off. He starts kicking like the water bucket and the tin and the fucking little, and then she's like, Jason. And he responds to it. And
I liked how quickly he snapped around.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I dug that. I was like, ooh, because now we're doing some character stuff here. I'm getting excited. This is fun.
And they didn't do anything with it, and they never once cut to you actually casted the mother. You showed us the mother. You killed the mother, and then you don't have him like talking to the mom or hearing her, or
you don't revisit it. Like he could have just been like
at all. You don't even. And here's the thing, Kevin. We've filled in the blank. We've done it again. We've filled in the blank that he is responding because of the stupid locket thing. We have just connected so many dots for this movie that he's responding to her because she looks like his mom. The movie itself does not actually give us this stuff. We filled it in because of what we know. It just instantly our brain was just like, we know this, we put this here. But the movie itself, if you just remove that element, does not do that work.
Well,
and that pisses me off so bad.
Well, the movie gave you like a tiny morsel, and they're like, "You look like her," and then that's it.
Yeah, but it's like its job is to remind you of that. Like I had to just Like, would a normal viewer do that? Would someone who's not dissecting this movie for fucking 2 hours know that? No. They'd fucking forget. They'd be like, why the fuck is this happening? Whatever. I just want to see more boobies and kills. So
yeah, no, there should have been like a scene of maybe him just staring at the hole where the head is located. You know what I mean? And maybe like just
he kept the shrine after those 6 months because we see the
that's what I'm
lights on
saying.
again. He put the skull back in. He's like, this is where Mom's skull goes in the fucking hole in the wall.
It could have just been a quick couple of seconds of her Tiffany captured, and she's kind of just like wondering where he's gone off to, and she can kind of maybe just like pulls her chain a little bit further. She kind of sees like a glimpse or something, and you're just like, oh shit, there's that connection, and then the audience can go, oh yeah, you know.
Yeah. But instead, we just automatically did it for it because again, it's a shit fuck development of any character in this movie. And so
we're at the house.
We're at the house. Chewie tries to hit on the one remaining woman who he knows is not interested in him, but he gives it a shot.
You can do it.
He burns his lip on a shot glass somehow. It was like the weakest flame, and I have no idea how it heated up the glass that fast, but whatever. And then
he's a geek.
Yeah, and then Trent's just like, dude, you broke my dad's chair. It's a family heirloom. It's fucking old and shitty looking to begin with. And you spilled booze on the floor. Like, what the fuck? Like, he's just got this list of complaints on what just happened. And then Chewie's like, I'm handy. I can fix it. Oh, you got some tools? I'll fix it. I was like, the chair fell over, guys. Pick the chair up.
I think it kind of broke apart, like the footrest thing.
Well, don't have a family treasured footstool in the living room if you're not going to use it.
It was just a bunch of antiques in this fucking living room. Don't touch anything. And then they were like, we're going to party.
They were shitty fucking antiques. Okay? Shitty.
Hey, man. They had value to Trent and his family.
I guess. The fucking pricks, but whatever. So then Chewie's like, I'm going to go get murdered in the tool shed.
I'm going to go about northeast, about 500 knots to that shed down there.
Yeah. The super far shed. We cannot fix this footstool in the morning. It needs to be done when he's high as a fucking kite and drunk off of his fucking mind.
I mean, what are they really doing, though? Just nothing.
Nothing. That's my point, Kevin. Why do these people go to nowhere to do nothing and say that that's fun?
They want to get white girl wasted on their own time.
I guess.
It wasn't their last summer or anything, somewhere I could be like, oh, man, these guys are going to celebrate their last summer. I sure hope they live.
Yeah. So then the I think her name's Bree or some shit. She takes Trent, and you're just like, oh, okay, I guess the other two aren't boyfriend and girlfriend.
No clue. I didn't know who was with who.
Yeah, I didn't care anymore.
I assumed the other girl, the fucking what's her name, the Jenna girl. I thought they were together because they shared the most scenes together.
Yeah, well, they kept talking. Like he came out and talked to her, and she was like, "Do you want to go hiking?" And he was like, "I'm not fucking hiking. I can't trust these assholes not to fucking put a cup down without a cup cozy, coaster and a cup cozy on it. Come on now."
What if they turned the AC to 76?
My dad's gonna fucking shit a brick somewhere and hit me with it later on.
Yeah, that mentality just did not belong to that character. It should have been the other way around, where he was kind of doing whatever, and the Chewie character could have been like, "Dude, my dad," and then maybe even Lawrence. Give it to Lawrence so he has something to do.
Yeah. So it didn't make any sense. But So they disappear, and then Chewie's just down in this garage area
for like an hour.
And he goes inside, and this is after he's been in an immaculate house, and he goes inside, and he's like, this is how the rich live.
No, dude. So he's like, this thing is huge. You guys are really rich. This is like a house to poor people. You know what I mean? So I get it. It's huge. They're just flaunting their money. He starts touching a bunch of stuff. He goes into this
everything.
It looks like a metal locker that you would put like flammables, like spray paint and stuff. But there's a bunch of wine in there. I was like, no, dude, rich people have a wine cellar or at least a massive wall or a rack.
That was whiskey, I'm pretty sure. Or
was
scotch.
It?
Yeah, it was either whiskey or scotch.
Well,
it wasn't wine though.
they would probably have it like displayed better than in a shed locked up. And I was
No,
kind
for
of like,
sure. Yeah,
this is
like
weird.
a humidor or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was
But I was like,
like
whatever. So
it was very suspect when they didn't show it close at all. They were like, no,
yeah.
no, keep it fucking blurry and out of the shot. So
Or even if you just found the old man's stash or something, like his
yeah, and he's just like, I
private
knew I
moonshine.
was friends with you for a reason, Trent. I was like, to take a couple of swigs off of his dad's old booze. Like, wow, that's
I think
Jesus, Chewie, you're
maybe
selling
it
yourself
just
short.
Trent lives in excess and Chewie may not, and so now
Yeah.
he's just living vicariously through him. And it's a lot of Chewie just kind of doing this like open monologue type character piece
Yeah,
here.
he's just there, like factually waiting to die. Like that is it.
He didn't go for any tools. He finds like a basketball and thinks he's Allen Iverson. He starts trying to cross himself up and
Allen Iverson, he's like, practice. We're talking about practice. It's just for like 25 minutes says practice.
you're like, wow, dude. And
And then he finds a hockey stick.
he finds a hockey stick and you're like, how apropos of this hockey stick to make its. And then basically Jason heard a noise, so he shows up.
Yeah, Jason's like, I heard someone alone. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The noise ordinance at Jason's Lake is clearly 7 p.m. Okay. It is 8:30. You are fucking too loud. Okay.
If you creep into the decibels, he's airing you out, guaranteed.
Yeah. So
And
apparently that's part of his deformity is that he has super great hearing and vision. Even though I think the opposite would probably be true, and I'm not trying to make fun of it or anything.
you know, it'd
I
be
just thought
cool,
it was-
like if that was something like you said, like maybe it hurts his ears so bad that he wants to stop it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be great. You know,
That'd be like
explain why he walks quietly because everything's too loud. But
if
hey,
everything's
I don't
too
know.
loud.
That might be something a movie should do, not us, you know.
So the movie's like, fuck you.
He's like, fuck you. Did you see boobies? You're welcome. That's all what we assumed you came here for. Because our kills are, they're okay, but they're not that. They're not like writing home about, like, dear mom, saw a guy get his head lobbed in half by a machete. Another dude got his ear taken off,
Well, it's just the movie has such a fantastic history of kills, so you're like, you got to kind of start at baby steps.
Someone should have called fucking Mortal Kombat, but like, you got any leftovers we can fucking borrow?
They're like, yeah, you can't use any of these because they're like triple X, bro. You're not going to get a rating with these kills.
I'm like, it's fine. We'll find a way to water them down. But so yeah, Chewie's there for way too long. Jason finally shows up after Chewie breaks the one and only light in this is the other jump cut, Kevin, or inconsistency. I actually remember it is the wrong scene. He breaks the one and only light, and he looks at the glass, and he tries to move it with the hockey stick. And I was like, this is the guy that's gonna go fix the broken chair thing.
Yeah, I remember, dude. He's like wasted right now. So
I know. So why are they asking him to fix the chair thing?
no one asked him, dude. He just volunteered. Remember, they were just like, "Fuck off, you suck," and he was like, "No, I don't want to be the sucky guy." And everybody's like,
but I am. It's fine. Lawrence is quick to take his place later, but that's fine. And so then Jason shows up, and he's like, "Do you want this to complete your outfit?" And
yeah,
I was just like,
comic relief.
I was like, "Wow, we're still letting him talk, huh?" And then, yeah, Jason kills him. He actually tries to fight back, and Jason makes him turn his Phillips screwdriver on himself and put it up through his neck and stuff. And you see it's a slow kill, and I get that,
I didn't like this one at all.
No, it was boring as fuck.
Because you have this over dominant Jason, right? I mean,
yeah, and then the smallest character in the movie.
The smallest character in the movie tries to give him some resistance, and we've noticed Jason doesn't fuck around, right? He doesn't play with his kills. He's just like he tries to. I mean, you could argue
the guy with an arrow.
Yeah, he's all about the one shot, right?
Speeding boat. With not even a power compression bow, Kevin, just a normal bow.
Yeah, man, the dude is good at what he's good at, and that's killing.
I assumed it was from the camp, but it was in such new condition. I don't know.
So, like, You could make the argument of the sleeping bag and maybe him fucking with her a little bit, but maybe he was just like, dude, I don't really got anything on me. This fire seems good.
Yeah, he set a trap to catch the other guy.
And that's more methodical, right? He's not really playing. He's just he's controlling the game, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to this character, he's like fucking with him. It's like, dude, you clearly can overpower this drunk little wussy kid and just put the screwdriver through his throat real quick. But I was just like, what? This is so out of character. Like, he should have like wham the screwdriver in his face a couple times and threw him on the ground, curb stomp him in the glass. And I'd been like, damn, dog, that's crazy.
Yeah. And then he fucking Sam Fishers the body. For fucking whatever reason. And
then back to Lawrence, he kind of is just like, everyone's just like, oh no, there's a dead body. Clay and the other girls show up.
No. You cannot skip past Lawrence's scene. First of all, so Trent and the other chick, they're starting to go at it. And meanwhile, the sister has gotten free. We should mention that. She's gotten free. She's running loose.
Oh, Tiffany finds, because Jason throws the duffel bag that he finds of her brother's.
Fucking GPS plays another role.
Yeah, the GPS, that's your fucking ex machina.
She opens it, and she just takes out the perfect lock-picking like metal, and then her clumsy, dumb fucking fingers take like 25 minutes to get it just in the hole, and then somehow she picks the lock. I don't know, and then she's free. She's free.
I would have probably believed more of her just pulling the chain, old rusty, out of the wall, like if it's broken and he's away. So she's gonna like just break the foundation with her foot or dig it out with her heel. I don't know, but she's just fucking like boom.
And she has to run over all of her dead friends' bodies.
Deuces.
Yeah, she's just like,
deuces, you dead motherfuckers! I live forever.
She's like, I don't have time to cry about you motherfuckers. I gotta go.
No one cries about anybody in this movie.
Yeah, so Lawrence has been left alone, okay? He knows the other two are getting frisky. He does not care that no one else has
sex in the air.
He smells the sex in the air. And so he decides the time is right, the mood is right.
Grab that TV guide.
Let's grab the TV guide, and let's just find some old white lady to beat off to, okay? He's getting prepared to do that. He notices a deer looking at him, so he turns slightly to the left. And that's when Clay and the nameless woman show up. I'm calling her that because no one gives a fuck about her name.
It's Jenna. No, I said it like 5 times.
I know, but no one in the movie cares, Kevin. Okay, you're saying her name more times on this podcast than the entire movie. Okay, I don't even think she had a character name until the credits came along, and they were like, "Ooh, we got to name her something." Jenna. Sure, why not? Sounds good. I don't even think that's her character name. I think that's her real name, but whatever.
And he's just like, Breaker.
He's just like, oh, no, I wasn't doing nothing. No, nothing. And they're like, there's a fucking guy. He's got a dead body. He's killing people. And
Lawrence like, sorry, I've been in the wrong movie.
Yeah, he's like, I'm in the way wrong movie. Are you the guy hanging the flyers? I thought I was in the Flyer Guy movie. What the fuck movie is this? So they run around. They're trying to figure out who's there, who's not. Lo and behold, no one's there. They
really, Jenna goes upstairs to get like Trent and the other girl, and she's like knocking.
We think is her boyfriend, possibly.
Yeah,
no
so
one
like,
seems to care.
I figured, he's just upset because she dissed him, and then now he's just fucking whatever he can. That's what I kind of thought was happening.
Yeah.
And she keeps knocking on the door, and they're just like, go away. And I just be like, hey, man, I'm trying to fuck this chick. Will you please fuck off? Like, say something.
Bro, he says that. He says, fuck off.
No,
and
but
then,
like,
meanwhile, this is the camcorder chick, and she's just like all up on his face and stuff. And I was just like, why? You took the time to plug this into the TV? For who?
So they can watch themselves, dude. Come
on. They weren't, though. They never.
Where's your fucking kink, bro?
Never. I'm not kink shaming, but they never broke eye contact, Kevin.
Hey,
they
man,
never broke
because she had level 3 titties. She had the top tits of the town,
and he couldn't stop saying that.
It was almost comical. I was like, is he going for a laugh?
Because I was like, Trent, you are by far. You only say don't fuck up the house, don't fuck up the house, and now you won't stop saying tit tit tit. I was like, you are a one-track fucking record.
I thought
an A and a B side. That's it.
You would have thought Trent had never seen a boob in his life the way he was talking about this.
He never did. He had never did. And then he was like, you got about 8 seconds before I pop off. I was like, Jesus Christ.
That's courteous. He's a courteous lover.
Like, courteous heads up. I mean, the other guy said that, and she was like, you fucking do that, I'll kill you. So, and then we see Jason. He's looking, but then he had to go pause and kill Chewie. And he came back, and he's like, no, you guys are still doing the frisky bang bang. All right. I'm gonna have to. There's a sister. She got free. I gotta nab her right before she hits the glass.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, I liked it, but I didn't understand that. And then he took the time to go all the way across the other side of the lake, Kevin.
No, he didn't, dude.
Tunnel system or not?
Tunnels, dude. He got there in no time flat.
He chained her up to the same spot.
Yeah, he was like, stupid bitch. How'd you get out? It's like you do with a dog, right?
The GPS. It was the GPS, wasn't it? I don't even know what a GPS is. I just like saying GPS.
It's like a dog owner, right? You're like, dude, how'd you get out? You put him back in the same pen. You don't give a fuck.
Yeah. So don't do it again.
Yeah, right. That was his mentality. He's like, hey man, I see you out again. I know you remind me of my mom, so I didn't
He's just like,
I didn't cut you down.
Oh, it's fine. This lock's fine. We don't need a new lock. It's fine. It's fine.
But I super like that scene because you're just kind of like,
it was good. It just didn't make sense with the rest of the timing of the movie, regardless of his tunnels or bullshit. No, dude,
because this is the part when the third act begins and everyone's kind of setting up for this final push. The rules for Jason go out the window. Where in the beginning, it was slow enough, and they've given you a peek of the tunnels. He comes out of the trap door, so you're like, cool. They don't really give you a sense of size of how the inner workings. Like you're led to believe there's tunnels over every inch of this, Crystal Lake area. Yeah, and it's you don't get there's no scope, right? There's no sense of like him being able to navigate this quickly.
All we know is that the house is on the other side of the camp. Because they told us that twice. Separate fucking.
Well, yeah, they're like, hey, the lake's here, so the lake's near the camp, and we've told you multiple times that people have had to drive there, right?
Yeah.
And it's been.
But somehow Jason can take her back as a captive, tie her up, or chain her up again, and then get back in time for more killing. Hey, man. And you're just like,
teleports.
What the fuck?
So they want to get. So here's the thing: they want to get away from like the fantasy elements that like the old series started to bring into it, right? But and they really kind of didn't do that.
Then they shit the bed with that.
Well, the old series was like, hey, we're just kind of doing this because it's cool to have jump scares and peekaboo, he's wherever just to get the kill. Then they were just kind of like, well, how's he doing that? And then over the series, over time, they kind of started being like, there's like a mystical element. So you're like, oh, okay. So maybe that's how he was doing
Can you explain that further? No, we definitely cannot. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Next question.
And it's fine because you don't really need an answer for everything, right? You kind of just go, okay, he's doing this. But in this movie, they try to have their cake and eat it too by explaining how he can navigate so quickly. But there's times where they're so involved in how they want to move the story forward or how to get a kill or how to put him somewhere cool for a scare. They don't give a fuck. Because once he gets to the house, it's literally a free-for-all. He's on a roof. He's on the ground. He's got a different weapon. It's like a weapon wheel in a video game. He's holding the L bumper. He's cycling through all of his weapons. Like, bro, first you got a machete. Yeah, then he's got an axe. Then he has like a fucking pole. Then he has, I'm like, dude.
A fire poker. He's like, I'm picking up other people's weapons.
Yeah, dude. It gets real video game where he's just
wait till I use this fucking wok. It's amazing, okay? Clean the rice first, people.
Yeah, achievement unlocked. You used the wok. And you're like, what? And like the movie's just like, I don't know if it's running out of time. I don't know if it just wants to hurry up and get it over with. It's just
I don't think it knew. It knew how it wanted to finish. It just didn't care how it got there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the third act, like it just kind of loses its way in its own little shitty world that it's trying to create.
Yeah. So they have called the cops. The cops are supposedly on their way.
They called a cop. They called the only cop.
They called the cop. They called the cop.
They called
the cop's wife answered. She was like a dispatch. And he was like, I love it when you say that, baby. And she's just like,
for you, Larry. Apparently there's a murder at the rich house.
The rich house saw a dead body. You gotta go. All right. But will you say dispatch later on so I can just like, really just go to bed hard? You know I like to go to bed hard. She's just like, oh, stop. Just get out of here. And then so they're just like not packing up. I don't know. They're just like doing nothing. For as big as like the Clay guy is. He's a real just like, I don't know, just
because he's aloof, right?
overly cautious, I guess. So he's just like, don't go outside. And Lawrence is like, I gotta go get my boy, who has definitely been out in that shed for way too long. And I was like, really? 2 shed kills? This is so shitty.
No way, man. Bite your tongue, because this is one of my favorite kills. So we go to the shed. Lawrence, they do a little spooky jump scare thing where the body's hanging above because Jason, man, no trail. It teases you that it's in the freezer, and I was like, dude, why aren't we eating these steaks? I would have been thawing these out because did you guys eat? Did you guys eat before you came? You just ate the snacks?
Like those, how long are these steaks up here? They're gonna get freezer. You gotta eat those quick, man.
They had freezer.
Gotta fucking eat those quick.
So the Chewy's body like startles up. He's like, "Oh shit, Chewy's been killed, right?" And then
Jason's like, "Fucking who's making noise in the shed again?" Oh my
bolts
god!
Out. He's like, "Dude, what, twofer in the shed?" And I love this because there's a great set of distance between the shed and the home, and he's just hauling balls. And then
because Lawrence puts up a fight, and he actually like kind of breaks free, and he's running. Like Jason's like, "Oh shit, this guy can run fast." And no one else has run this fast.
Jason's like, "Don't make me run."
Because you will regret it. Because I'm about to fucking Highland game this fucking axe, like overhead throw it like a fucking football going in for the goal, and just launches it right through Lawrence's chest.
I liked it because
through his back, through his chest.
Lawrence has him on distance. Jason starts moving up, and you just see the axe that's already stuck in the log stump, and it just snaps up because Jason just snaps up. It's actually a great shot. I wish it was a little bit more artistic in a way. I would have pulled out and did a really wide shot and just have him clear the distance and visually. And I think that would have been so cool. And then you just hit you cheat and have it hit impact on his back, and then you do a push in on Lawrence's face or something, right?
Yeah, but I mean, you got to remember this is also the same people that did the bow and arrow just randomly through the guy's head.
I know, but
through the head.
But if you think about it, so we kind of have like the dark dusk light, the really bright night, and you had the lake in the background and shit. It was just a really great scene that it could have just been so much more, and I really, really, really liked it. And I was like, damn, man, you guys were just so close of having something like.
I liked it. It just didn't fit with this movie. It didn't fit with a lot of the other kills. It was so just like weirdly like, I'm like, really? Now I'm supposed to believe that he can perfectly throw an axe and with such force and velocity.
Dude, yeah,
from
it's
such a distance.
Come on, man. You saw him snipe dude. He one shots.
No, he actually, Kevin, I didn't. I saw an arrow go through a man's head, and then I saw him put a brand new bow down and go, oops, don't look at me. Don't look at me. That's what I saw.
Well, I disagree.
I know it wanted me to believe that. I didn't think it matched the movie, but it was still a cool kill. It just didn't match the movie.
I think it did because this Jason is basically, he is literally like a Rambo. He's multifaceted. He's using everything to its utmost. There's not one thing he doesn't grab and doesn't know how to use it.
PTSD.
He doesn't know how to
Don't run drugs in Crystal Lake.
Like proficiently. Like he grabs it, and you hand him a rifle, I'm pretty sure he could fucking reassemble it with a blindfold. You know what I mean? Like just take it apart. I mean,
you can't see his eyes, so you never know.
That's how OP this Jason is when it comes to stuff. And that is the one thing I will say I really liked about this movie is just this one aspect of it. But unfortunately, it's the only aspect.
Yeah. So Lawrence is screaming, and then they're like, we got to go get Lawrence. And Clay's like, no, he's using your friend for bait. And I'm like, no, Clay, he's really definitely not doing that. He's just, he did a lot of running. He's taking his time to get up there. And also, you guys would just be dumb to go out there anyway. But if you were good human beings, you still would have tried. You would have just gone out as a group and tried to save this guy. But
I'd be like, listen, dude, he's murked this whole team.
I know, and that's what I felt Clay should have said then. Is just like, he's just going to kill us. Like, there was there was no human compassion for Lawrence at all. Like no one was like, "Oh my God, our friend's gonna die. We're listening to him die." Except for the one girl who was just like, "Shut up, just shut up. I don't want to hear this." She wasn't like, "Oh my God, he's dying." She was just like, "I don't want to hear this. I am selfish. I do not want this as my reality. I just want to film my vagina while having sex."
Yeah.
And it was just like, I hate all of you. Like all of you. I hope all of you die.
Like, well, the big breakdown thing here is like they need. Yeah, I agree. They needed something. Like Clay should have been like, dude, he's systematically taking us out. Like we can't fall for that. Like we need some sort of someone needs to say something that's not what everybody wants to hear. And you have your characters react, right? The cam girl just sat down and she's just wearing an oversized t-shirt. I'm like, bitch, there's murderers. Go get some pants on. Like, you fucking have some respect for yourself. Have some respect for these murderers. That wasn't even
the shirt the guy was wearing. Where'd you get this shirt?
It's her dad's shirt. She's real kink. It's the dad's house, Dustin. You got to get your kinks in line, bro. When your old lady comes over, she wants to wear your dad's shirt, not yours.
I mean, that's weird.
No, dude, did I not say kink? Come on, bro. It's embarrassing it's embarrassing how little you know about that.
I will kink shame that kink.
And then
you wear my shirt, don't wear my father's shirt. That's weird.
Ah, dude, hey, that's her kink, not yours. You don't get to choose.
I will kink shame.
And so then I'm just like, all right. And then the Trevor dude, he finally wakes up. He's like, hey, I got the old 9 milli in there. And the dude's like, you had a fucking gun the whole time?
I mean, I saw him use it. I wouldn't trust him with a gun.
But that's the best part, dude. He reacted like a person that was frantic and scared. You know what I mean? That's the part I was like, I like that because this character would act this way because he's not trained with a gun, clearly. And he's not like, they're not in the right state of mind. They just saw their friend take a fucking axe to the back and
acquaintance.
And then you're telling me that it's fucking. Now all of a sudden he's got to snap into action, and the other guy was like, "Give me the gun." He was like, "Fuck you." And I've been like, "Yeah, fair enough."
Yeah. So fuckhead goes to get the gun. He's in one room. Bree, the dad shirt kink girl,
just the cam girl,
the cam girl. She's looking around for him in a complete like. The house isn't that big, but somehow they can't find each other. And she's like calling for him, and he's just like looking out a window in a completely different room. And then Jason's like, all right, I'm going to kill you. Like silently. I'm going to cover your mouth, and I'm going to put you through some deer horns. And I was just like, why were you there? Why did you even go upstairs to look for him? Like you don't tell me you feel safe around this guy. Like you were just freaking out, and now you're like hunting him down. Where are you in the house? I was with 2 other people, but I decided, no, I'll go find the guy that was just boning me. Like, that's where I feel the safest. And it was weird that she just, like, separated herself just to be murdered. And so then he shoots her dead body, Trent. And they're like, and he opens the door. He's like, he killed her. He fucking killed her. We gotta go. I was just like, what? No, man, I'm pretty sure you might have killed her, actually.
No, man, that shirt had those bullet holes in it when I bought it.
No, she was definitely bleeding like that from
Fuck you!
Things he did. I'm not going to jail. The cop shows up. They're like, go downstairs, the cop's here. And he's like, police! Because they hear the door, someone knock on the door. They're like, it's definitely the serial killer that has been moving silently. He decided to take a moment and go, knock, knock, knock. Knock, knock, knock. And then, so they're about to open it, and then Jason just fucking fire pokers him through the door. And they're just like, we gotta go. And they all just run. And Trent, my favorite character now, runs, he falls, he drops the gun in the water.
Oh, dude, you're missing the big part. Clay goes by the cop, and they're like, check him for like a gun. Or like some keys or a flag, and they're like, he doesn't have it. He doesn't have anything. I was like, it's cop.
Yeah, and then his motorcycle's is back all of a sudden, even though they did not arrive on the motorcycle. Well, they just ran up the driveway.
What kind of cop tries to cop around an area where there's a bunch of murders with no weapon?
It's a small town. They don't have a budget for a gun, Kevin.
Dude, yeah.
He's saving up, okay?
Fucking Trent had a fucking budget.
Yeah, Trent's the reason the town only has one sheriff. Their dad won't buy any other sheriffs for the town. So
stupid. Like I was like, well, this cop was just
dumb. No, that he didn't. I don't even know why the cop showed up. It was just like, okay, whatever. And so Trent drops the gun in water, and apparently Trent doesn't know that most guns. I'm gonna say most. I'm not a gun aficionado. I can't even say the name. I can't even say the word.
Let's hear what he's going to say about a gun, everyone.
Most guns don't work when you drop them in water, Kevin, as far as I know. I don't think you could just pull them back up and be like, bow, 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 and shoot them, And it's dark. He has no flashlight. He's just thumbing around and fucking It was doing nothing with that lighting.
Because
Okay.
he's a dickhead. He wasn't even shooting a gun with a flashlight correctly. How many cop shows do you have to watch to see how you hold that shit?
Trent doesn't watch TV. Okay.
Yeah, cop shows are for pussies, right, Trent?
So, and then he's just like, "Fuck you, gun," and then he just like runs away, and I was just like, "Oh, Trent."
That's a very Trent move, though. He stayed in character.
And then I'll be honest, I don't remember how Trent died. Oh no, I do remember how Trent died. So Trent goes to the road, and he tries to flag down a tow truck.
He almost gets hit by a tow truck.
He almost gets hit by the tow truck. Stops. A hand waves him, a silent hand. You know, no voice from a man being like, "Come on, I'll give you a ride," or whatever.
No voice from a guy going, "Hey, motherfucker, get out of the road."
Yeah. So Trent's like, "Oh my God, is Jason driving the tow truck? What the fuck?" No, it's a guy who's on oxygen driving. And I assume this was our farmer. But then so Jason machetes him and then spikes him on the end of the tow truck. And then the tow truck driver finally gets his car started and drives him away, so that Trent just gets like, I don't know, like a Darth Maul death. It's not rewarding for this fucker. He's just kind of spiked on a tow truck, bleeding out. I guess
it's pretty original.
I'm
pretty sure his organs are destroyed, dude. So he's dead.
Yeah, no, he was definitely. He was dead when the machete went all the way through him, dude. Like
here's
the bleeding,
the thing.
Done.
Yeah, it was a double whammy. The thing was, why'd the guy just put it in park? You don't need to turn your engine off.
I don't know, man. It was an old tow truck. He was on the oxygen.
I mean, is it?
I don't think he actually had the truck off. I think
he did because he had to start it. That's why it stalled for time, so Jason could spike him on the back.
I think they just were like, "Hey, the tow truck is now off in this scene. Done." You know.
Well, I blame the driver for turning it off. The old man.
You're gonna blame the old fucking man? I mean, he's just an old man on oxygen driving a tow truck late at night through kill camp. So I don't know. You know. And then so Jason's like, "All right. Back to, we got to find the other ones."
There's 3 left now.
Yeah, there's 3 left. Well, no, technically 2, because he doesn't want to kill the one that looks like his mom.
I'm just saying there's 3, bro.
All right, whatever. They eventually find how to get into his tunnels. They find the sister. I'm just going to speed things up here because it's really boring anyway. They are...
It is a rough podcast. I apologize, everyone.
Yeah. So... The brother and sisters, you don't buy that they're brother and sister. They like hug for like half a second. They're like, "We gotta go," and then they go down the worst path.
Dude, if that was my sister and I found her, I was like, "Bitch, what are you doing out here? Why'd you get captured by this crazy motherfucker?" I'd hug you. Get the fuck out of here.
I'd even be like, "You know what? You missed mom's funeral." Like, I'd rub it in. I'd be like, I would be like, "You missed mom's funeral for this shit? You're an asshole." And then she'd be like, "I didn't know mom was dead." He's like, "You do now. Fucking, it's the worst day of your life, okay?" And then this motherfucker, he finds a hole for them to crawl through. And he goes first. Like a gentleman would.
Yeah, dude. I've seen this guy murder people. I'm out of here.
So he's like, "Come on, sister, come with me afterwards."
You think chivalry's going to stop a blade going from your cornhole? No.
And then the woman, who's had no motivation to go with him all day, other than he had a motorcycle and flowing locks of hair, she just gets a machete through the fucking guts.
No, dude, it wasn't a machete. It was
That wasn't a machete?
It was those like little, like those scythes, those like sickles, a little handheld one.
Oh, yeah.
Because they grab one. And then Jason's just like, "Well, I got the other side. Stick you." And it kind of was cool. The blade goes through her chest, and she looks at it. She looks up.
Yeah, but
then but he snatches the shit out of her, and I was like, "Oh, I like that."
But it didn't make sense to kill that character, other than just you're killing all the characters, whatever. Like, I get that part, but it was just like, so you're telling me I had to watch her with this unbearable prick the entire movie just to see her die right here near the end? I was just like, it wasn't like I was rooting for her. It just felt like, of all the times to kill her, right now. Well,
yeah, man, we're trying to wrap this movie up. Now? Everybody dies.
No, we're not, because we still have like fucking 25 minutes, I feel like. But so then they get out, and then he's just like, I'll remember her name later or something. You know, he's like, no remorse. He's just like, let's just go.
Do you want? I mean, he's not gonna stop and mourn. He's just gonna be like, "Oh fuck!" Like,
yeah, but he could just be like, "Fuck no," something. Instead,
he gave her the look. He was like, "Oh fuck, you're dead."
That's all he does this whole movie is give a look. He's just like, "Am I constipated, depressed, or worried about my sister?" You'll never know. You'll never know. Watchmen Supernatural season 14, the wrap up. And so then they
Her name's Whitney. Her name's Whitney. That's why we couldn't find her. We were calling her Tiffany. That's why. Don't send us looking for her.
No, I know, dude. I was calling her Gabby or some shit, and you settled upon Tiffany, and I was just like, that's not it. But I'm not going to correct you because whatever, it doesn't matter because it doesn't matter. Yeah, Whitney. He's just like, hey, Whitney, what are you doing today? And then
she's like, not listening to this shit.
This song sucks. Fucking write a better one. And then they crawl out in some fucking old bus on its side. And then Jason's just up there and beats the shit out of fucking Clay.
He takes Clay's head and he spikes it through the glass
several times.
And I don't know if you've ever rode. I rode a school bus when I was younger. Those are like bulletproof presidential glass. So I was like, wow, he's concussed. He could be dead.
He's definitely dead.
I mean,
the first one was a concussion. The next three were his murder.
So this not only is this the weakest kill, but only I understand how violent that was because those.
Oh no, I got it. I was just like,
they use that glass on space stations. That's how strong it is.
Like, listen, if your kid's bus rolls over and your kid hits that window, your kid's dying from that. Nothing else. Not the roll. It's the impact against the fucking glass.
Because the glass will break his neck because the glass isn't budging.
Yeah. And so, so Clay is just like, dead, we hope. And then the sister's just like, oh man, I gotta hide. And so she hides over the hole, pushing herself between two seats. Jason comes looking over the hole. He's like this motherfucker who has the most awareness in the entire movie. Yeah,
this part was kind of it was real wonk.
Yeah, and then she's just like, "Fuck you! I'm not your mother." And then she pushes him down the hole
with both her legs, right? So she's probably like 90 pounds. She's probably
in 6 months.
In all honesty, she's probably like what? She's probably like 5'7". Maybe 5'8". She's probably roughly, I guess, maybe 140 pounds on the regular side, right?
Yeah.
She pushes. This is not a big hulking Jason, but he's a pretty good sized dude, right? And she just pushes both legs out, and he just falls like you. If you would have kicked a kid, that's how far he flew. I was like, damn, dude. Did she just hulk up on you?
Yeah.
That kind of
like
that
6
bothered
fucking
me.
months of rat shit around me.
That bothered me.
Yeah, it super bothered me. I was just like, okay, sure.
And really quick, while we're on this subject of the Jason, I like the mask. I like the look. I like that little jacket coat. I like the layers. I thought that was great.
Appreciate that he dressed for the weather.
I thought it gave him a unique look, especially over the previous incarnations of him. My big sigh is every time I saw him is size-wise, right? He's not as foreboding as the other ones in the past. They did take a lot of advantages to shoot up on him, so he looked bigger. There's 3 scenes where he's a full body wide shot. Especially the one that's most memorable is after the tow truck kill when he's choke slams dude, and then you see the tow truck drive away for that kind of like, oh man, is he dead, somber moment, and it pushes back on a wide shot of Jason in the road for a moment. He looks so small, and
for sure. Yeah,
I was so heartbroken. I was just like, oh my god, he looks like a 12-year-old. It's like, dude, get the fuck out of the road. You look like an asshole.
Yeah, like overall, since we're covering it, overall, and I it's fine that, I'm not going to sit and argue. You like the look. It didn't really do anything for me other than the mask. And the mask was fine. It was just more of like, I don't know. It just felt like a freebie, like the mask. Overall, I don't feel he had about as much presence in the movie even with all the kills and stuff as like Lawrence or Chewie did. I didn't get a strong enough presence from him to give a shit.
I agree. I agree from that. Like, I think there was a lot of missed opportunities to make him look more, just impactful. And I was like, hey, there's a couple of scenes where he kills the girl in the bathroom, the cam girl in the bathroom that separates. They do a really cool thing where they kind of push in on that, and you just see his one eye through the mask, and his eyes just kind of like tweaking as he's just like, I'm fuck this. That's another one down, Mom. I'm killing him for you, Mom. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I fucking
whoa. Don't give him motivation. They don't actually say he's doing it for Mom.
No. Like that's the look he had in his eye, because I like to be. The movie won't tell you that, but it's
exactly.
It's the motivation.
The movie will not tell you that.
It's the revenge motivation that you saw in the first 5 minutes, but which really won't pertain to anything because
what else is he getting revenge on?
The same revenge that he's getting to kill all the counselors that let him drown and took his mother away is the same revenge that's just making him idly kill some assholes. So it's really just kind of like, what, dude? That's the only reason you're giving him the benefit of the doubt, is like, you fuck with Crystal Lake, you get your shit wrecked. Because there's no counselors for him to kill, because that's the only thing he would know in his
that would be a movie on its own.
That in his small mind, they use the R word on him. And I'm like, what is that? What are we doing that? So, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so it's just like, he's a simple character in the fact, but you've muddled all his motivation. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I just thought that was a good scene. I'm just trying to find those things where I was like, you guys kind of went out of your way to make that visually impactful. I gave you that. But him overall, I agree with you 100%. Like, he doesn't have a huge presence. Like, they just didn't shoot him well to kind of make him just like this menacing monster. And I think the only way they try to do to cover up is to give him the speed and the agility and that precision in his killing. Yeah. So they tried to kind of they just chose. They didn't want a big tank, so they just kind of gave you this like John Rambo-esque type
totally.
Precision killing.
He's like, this is the Rambo. I got the PTSD.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know. That's called Late at Night. I shouldn't be trying that, but I did.
So go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So they get out. They're fleeing. After she's kicked him down the hole, and then Clay's just like, Whitney or fucking Brittany or doesn't matter. Let me help you up. Even though I shouldn't be alive. And then they head to just old man shitbag's farm because I guess they're close to it. I don't know. I mean, we don't understand the layout of anything around this lake. Mm-hmm. But we're there. The wood chipper's there. I was like, oh, gee, is that wood chipper going to play into this, you think? Yeah, it's going to play into this. And they walk in the fucking barn door.
Dustin, you should hide.
Hide. And then she walks 5 feet past the door to the right.
She maybe slightly crouches down an inch behind like a She's fucking like,
listen,
barrel.
I've been on my knees for 6 months.
Fuck, you're hiding.
Half a squat is the best I can do right now. Okay.
And I was like, women in this movie just do not know how to hide. Who wrote this? This is set the woman's movement back 100 years.
I mean, at least the women are trying to hide. The men are just like, I'm gonna get a walk
and stumble around.
Okay, I'm gonna take a hockey stick. Oh, the part I want to talk about was when Lawrence went into the shed. I forgot this part. I'm gonna touch on it real quick. The light was working again. Apparently, Jason does not let any electrical go untouched. He's like, no, we're going to get this fixed real quick.
Dude, he's really a hard-working blue-collar guy, if you ask me.
Yeah, he is,
I don't understand the problem.
Like, violent tendencies. But
just stay off his land.
Stay off his land. That's all he wants.
Fuck with him, he won't fuck with you. That's kind of the moral of this story.
Don't touch his marijuana. Okay. Let him touch it when he wants to.
He sells that. How do you think he gets the power still going? You think old man farmer just driving around in his fucking tow trucks cutting it? No. What is he towing out there? It's like, listen, those kids went on to hit Jason's property, unbeknownst.
I mean, he doesn't own the land or anything, but he kills anything that touches it. So it's like owning it,
Hey, that's what I saw. So unless you look like his mom, then don't fucking come around.
Yeah, don't come around. And unless you want to eat rat shit, don't look like his mom either. So Jason shows up. Clay's gotten a sickle, a harvesting sickle from the wall of the farmhouse barn that has no crops to harvest, but neither here nor there. Okay. And then they start tussling, and Clay's really sucking. He's sucking a lot. And then the sister, I think she's like, isn't this where she pulls the mom card? She's like, Jason. And he turns around real quick.
Yeah, he snaps.
Like, all right, like that.
Yeah, I like that. And then he wraps the chain around him.
Yeah, and she sends him to the fucking wood chipper. And then it just like kind of hits the back of his head a couple times.
Because the chain's basically getting caught up because they're trying to hang him. And they hang him for like a second. And then it snaps. Yeah. And the banister, like the beam or whatever they have it on there, just comes crashing down.
I will say, when he popped back up from that, I liked that. I thought that was very believable because he was just like, "Oh, you're gonna fucking kill me? I'm gonna come back with so much more rage right now."
No, I agree. I thought that was really good. It was like he was hyped. He was like, "Oh, looks like we got a motherfucking fight. Nobody fights me."
He's just like, "Oh shit, the champ hasn't had a fucking bout in a while."
I do agree. I like that. They basically work the chain into the chipper and it starts pulling them closer and closer and closer.
I mean, that chain would have fucked up that chipper instantly. It would have, but whatever.
It would have just been, for sure. But whatever. So he fights it. Missed opportunity here is it just kind of hits him from the back of the head. And
like twice. It's just like, and he's just like, oh, I guess I'm dead.
What I thought would have been more cinematically just interesting and visually like, wow. It's because they tease it where Clay's face gets close to the chipper and he pulls back and they get really close and they got the camera working around this chipper that's probably dissected so they can just put a camera wherever.
Yeah.
I would have really liked it if you had almost the POV of the chipper as it's pulling Jason in and it just pops a chunk of his mask off and pops another chunk. It just kind of teases the reveal of his face. But it doesn't take the whole mask off because they've kind of toyed with that. And that would have been like your rule of three. That would have been like the third time where they're just like, hey, his face, right? And because that's another thing is they always have the damaged hockey mask, which is kind of like his. I was like, oh, do that. And then they were just like, nah, man, this is boring. We're going to do this one. I was like, all right.
Yeah. And then then we do this weird. It's so weird, Kevin. It's daytime now. We're doing B-roll of all of our sets. And I was like, what are you doing this for? Why are you panning around the house? You're kind of like showing, because you're not really showing me the melee either. Like, because you went into that bunkhouse at the camp. And I was like, we didn't kill anyone there. Like, what are you doing? You showed the exterior of the house, but like not where the cop got killed. Then you showed me the sign again for camp, and
I can tell you what they're doing, but it's that whole column A, column B. Like the movie wants to borrow from the past, but it doesn't. But it wants to be its own movie, but it just can't help it.
Yeah, well, it didn't make any sense to me. So go ahead, tell me what it's doing, because I was just like, "What are you doing, movie? Are you over or not? Because why am I seeing this shit?"
So it does I guess just to kind of wrap it up, they're at the end of they're on the dock again, right?
Oh, we're just going to skip right to that?
Yeah, because then it's easier to explain it off of that.
Okay.
Jason's body's kind of covered up in a blanket for some reason. And
No. For some reason, they've brought his body
to the water.
Dock,
it's like
to the water. But why? I would have just left his body and gotten the fuck out of town. I'm not waiting. I'm not dragging his body. I'm not going to commit a murder cover up for this guy. I want them to find his fucking body so they know I didn't run around murdering all these people. This motherfucker did.
No, you don't go back to your life after some shit like this happens. I get in my car and I drive so far away.
Exactly. You don't take a body to the water. You just say, fuck it, YOLO, I'm out.
Yeah, I don't go get the cops. I just leave. I drive until my car runs out of gas. I never come back and I never talk about it again. And I just bury it deep down inside. Any family or job
I take it out of my kids once in a while.
I start a new fucking life in Canada or something. But I'm not.
My name's Bill Wachowski now. Okay, I sell car insurance.
My name's Daft Duggan. How can I help you?
My sister Janie, I guess. I don't know.
This is my shitter JD Duggan. Hello, shitter or sister. I've seen some shit in my day.
Some shit. I got some stress disorder.
So they kick him in the fucking lake like, eat a dick.
Yeah.
And then she's like,
and then they kick the machete in the lake.
No, that's his mask.
And then they kick then they kick the mask in the lake because they took the mask off for some reason.
Well, this snap, the latch is broken on the back. I saw that when it goes in the water, and then she takes the locket. All his character motivation is like, "Fuck you, you were the bad guy after all, or maybe it was us. Who knows, world."
Yeah. I don't know. When she threw that locket, I was like, that's kind of rude.
It was real dramatic. Like I thought she was going to be like a weirdo and keep it. That would have been more interesting. But
I didn't know why she still had it.
Traumatic experience. I don't know. Like it didn't make sense. It was just
she
kind
throws it in like, fuck this locket, fuck that mom. For
so it
raising
does
that weirdo.
It does this real dramatic thing, or you follow the body down, not really, and then you kind of see the mask and then the locket, and then they're kind of just like looking at each other. I think they like hug either in the barn or here, and then you get this helicopter shot and shit of just them looking down, and then it kind of cuts back to the dock, and then Jason just busts out of the dock like, "Fuck you, my man!" But you see him from the back because his face. That's the whole gimmick. We ain't gonna show you his face quite yet, and that's what we do.
Grabs her. And
yeah, he just grabs her. So that's like a sequel, right? That's a huge sequel tease, because the movie's pretty much over. This was been added in the very first Friday the 13th. The whole thing is it's the mom. Everyone, I'm sorry, spoiler, but if you haven't seen that movie yet, fuck you.
No.
Yeah. So at the very end,
wiki page.
So you're kind of just like, are you trying to bookcase this movie where the mom died and Jason saw it all happen at the lake? So you're bringing his death at the lake. What are you doing? Are you trying to be artsy with this? Get the fuck out of here. Not bookcase. I'm sorry, bookend. Because I was like, a bookcase just holds a bunch of books, except for if you're in one of our episodes, you should have fucking left. Where that bookcase is awesome and it holds nothing.
Or if you're looking at one of our other episodes, the honeymoon phase, where that bookshelf is god awful, and you're wondering why the fuck's that bookshelf there. But if you check our Twitter, it has the answer.
But this is more of a book ending, and you're like, what? In the first movie, mom kills everything, and that's it. There's no Jason in the whole movie. So what they did at the very end, they kind of like, fuck, man, how do we get out of this? They had the final girl. She's on a boat waiting for the cops to come. The safest spot she could find is a lake, because everywhere she's on land, everybody's getting killed. She's just kind of dozing off from her adventures, and her hands in the fucking water. And then, boosh, Jason jumps out from behind as a kid. He's all like, you really get to see his face for a second. You're like, oh shit, he's all gnarly. Is that the Elephant Man? What the fuck? And he grabs her and he pulls her back into the fucking water. Everyone shit their pants. They're like, yo, that's the illest shit ever. That's so fucking dope. And then they were all like, yeah, man, we did it. We did it. We named this movie before we even had a movie. We just thought Friday the 13th to be a sick fucking name, and then we had to make a movie for it. That's how wild they were back then. You were like, damn, that's dope. And I think this movie was just like, hey, man, should we do something like that? They're like, yeah, but let's make it like stupid and not work.
Yeah, but then why did we tour a bunch of set pieces that we didn't even really spend any
That's kind of what
with?
the first movie does that a little bit. It lets you kind of decompress, being like, hey, man, look at all this carnage she's avoiding. And look at basically like the travels.
I get that, but we didn't do that. We saw the sign. We saw the house. The house looked peaceful. We didn't visit any of the murdered bodies.
Bro, we watched the extended cut. That's what you get.
I mean, we didn't see, like, we went to the barn where he supposedly died, but we knew his body wasn't there because they showed us the barn. There was nothing going on there. Like, you could have just done, like, even if they had. Also, I want to say that the audio was atrocious to this movie.
Really?
It was really bad for me watching it. I thought the audio was shit.
That was another thing I did like, is some of the audio sweetening on some of the effects. Not the music per se, but a lot of things were punched up like crazy.
The sound effects were probably fine. I just mean the overall. Like, anytime anyone talked, or anytime like Cha-Cha Mama came on, I was just like, what? I was like, fucking someone leveled this shit, because it's fucking out of control. It's really bad. I don't know.
It's a bad mix is what you're trying to say.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, it was a very bad mix on this.
I was going to say, I liked some of the over exaggerated sound effects, like when Trent gets the gun or whatever, it just kind of like clicks and locks into place, and it's like,
yeah, but then when they're doing the wood chipper at the end, the wood chipper's so much louder than them talking.
No, yeah, like I don't mean that. Like, that's just a bad mix, right? Because it's too. I'm just talking about when they purposely punched up the effects. There's a part where when Jason just slams his machete through the floor, it makes like a huge bass punch. Like, it feels intimidating. They do it a little bit in Freddy versus Jason, where there's like every time his moves a fucking machete, it makes like a sword swinging type sound. You're like, what the fuck? Like I like shit like that.
I was fine with that, but I think that shit was so, like, at least to me watching this for the first time, that shit didn't stand out to me because of how bad the mix was.
Oh, so well, I noticed it because
I couldn't get over the horrible mix of everything. But so if the audio wasn't a bad mix and shitty, seeing that just the set pieces, because the set pieces were probably filmed better than the rest of the entire movie. If they had just layered over the audio of the murders, that would have been cool. Though they would have had to have actually like said or, been useful when they were being murdered for that to matter, but they didn't. So, but it was just like, yeah. Okay, so I get the whole popping out of the dog thing. That would have been a nice, I guess, column A, column B, tip of the hat to the old one. Yeah. It sounds like the first one was just way better in that regard. But yeah, it was shitty. I was just like, how dare you Mario Brothers me? I do not want to see a sequel to this. So, and I was glad there was no sequel to speak of. So,
hey man, they tried.
I'm glad it got locked in litigation for.
Yeah, everyone got greedy on it.
Well, I'm glad. I hope that when it gets solved, someone of actual talent and care actually does something,
I would love to do a movie like this because you see so many imitators to try to do something like there's like the Hatchet movies. They're kind of in the same vein, but this one's so rich with like that lore that the other movies created. So if it was me and I got a hold of that, I would just super cherry pick just the stuff that really, really worked in the original series. I mean, there's not a lot that works in this. There's really like, I do believe if something else comes out eventually, which I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
I think this will be left in the, sands of time. You know what I mean? They're not going to, they'll restart all of it again. They're not going to source any of this because there's really nothing of value here, right?
That was Jason's little brother, Jason. The mom was real unoriginal. It's like Mario and Luigi Mario.
There's nothing here to take to do anything else with. Yeah. Like they maybe would have got away with it with those two characters to do a sequel, and then they're haunted by it, kind of like the other ones. But the other ones were just the old ones are so slapdash put together each time. There's new directors. They're just like, I'm going to do this. They're like, hey, well, you want to work with some of this? I don't give a fuck. And you're just like, okay, man, just. Well, here's the rules. You got to have this guy now doing this thing. He's like, all right. But you can actually see some creativity with some of that, like kind of restriction of just having wash, rinse, repeat, kids show up, kill, murder. You actually see some like innovation pop up. So,
yeah.
But this is just, it's just Platinum Dunes just trying to cash in and just revitalize something.
Yeah.
And it turns into one of those things where I believe it's going to have the Phantom Menace syndrome, where it came out and it gets panned and everyone hates it. All the hardcores hate it. But then like 10, 15 years later, everyone looks back on it and realize it's pretty good. You know what I mean? Like it's going to have, God. I do have that feeling that horror aficionados and like the hardcore horror people like that are on the Twitter, the YouTube and the Instagram that just talk horror all the time. I can almost guarantee that this will have that, what they call that 10-year effect, where it's so bad in the beginning, but then people start to appreciate it because it's been so long and they can hate other things now and they can look back going, oh, it's pretty good. I like the way they kind of did that. I'm pretty sure they did that with the Texas remake. Even though I think the Texas remake is straight trash. Because the original one is so phenomenal, but yeah. I think it's going to have that effect. I don't know. I'm not really in the horror community. I kind of peek my nose in there a little bit and then I kind of get out. It's too much gatekeeping. I can't get into it, but
like I really hope not, because my biggest takeaway from this movie was how bored I was watching this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm glad you're able to find things you like. Like, I listed the two things where I was like, oh, okay. But even then, it didn't, like, invoke... Like, if you were watching my eyes, you wouldn't see, like, my eyes pop up, like, oh, that was kind of cool. Nothing.
There's those Christmas morning shine.
Yeah, I felt dead
the
inside.
Christmas shirt.
Yeah, I had the fuck Christmas shirt, and I felt so dead inside watching this movie, where I was just like, oh my God, what have I done? Why did I pick this? This is I was looking for something that I could just kind of be like,
wasn't
this
recommended by a listener?
This was recommended by our listener,
So
Lindsay. So
we didn't come up with this.
We didn't come up with this, but we did ultimately entertain the selection and pick it. So
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't even think she seriously recommended this. I think she jokingly did, and then haha, now the joke's on me.
What if you chewed, broke a glass, and watched this movie? I'm like, ooh.
And we were like, challenge accepted. She's like, no, please don't do that. No.
It's sharp. It cuts.
It's sharp. It cuts, and you have to watch the movie. So.
I will say, I guess I enjoyed it more the second time around, looking at it more not so critically, but just more closely. I guess. I mean, I critically, yes, because you just listen to me ramble.
Enjoy any this was such a dull fucking movie.
Not like
any sort of standards, like
not narrative wise. Like I found things in there I liked. I guess I could say. So it's like you kind of you gave me a plate of shit food, and I was just like, hey man, oh that's not too bad. That's doable. You know, I like these little things. Because I know overall the experience. I know I didn't like it, and then watching it again, I still don't like it. But I chose to kind of try to find some positive in it, and I like I said on the show, I did. So.
Yeah,
can I recommend it? No, I can't recommend it. So,
no, I would definitely not recommend it at all. Like, I mean, it's just such. I'm gonna say it again. It's such a boring movie. Like, I found it hard to believe that this was made in 2009. I was just like, did cinema just like regress? Did storytelling regress by like 2,000 years all of a sudden when we got to this point?
It has terrible pacing is really what the problem is, and.
I wouldn't recommend it at all. And this is my first time viewing it. Okay, I watched this first. Okay, so
totally.
Yeah, Kevin, why don't you take us away with all the fun stuff?
Oh man, that was it's another episode of Us versus Movies. It's Shocktoberfest. Is that a thing? I think I saw this somewhere else.
We're not calling it that.
Yeah, okay. It's
Us versus Halloween.
It's us versus the Halloweenies.
It's us versus Return to Halloween Town. It's us versus Ernest Scared Stupid. I don't know. We're not doing any of those, so don't fucking.
It's us versus movie goes to Halloween Town for a month. It's Friday the 13th. It is the remake of 2009. You can find more reviews like this on what is it? BuzzFeed?
Buzzsprout. Not on BuzzFeed. Buzzsprout, okay?
People are like, these articles are bad.
This is bad. Where's this fucking podcast? No, it's Buzzsprout.
And pretty much any of your favorite podcast providers, your Spotify's. That's what I go to. What about you, Dustin?
Your Google Podcast. I use Castbox personally.
Great call.
I think it's a good one. So Stitcher still.
Oh, Stitcher. Yeah, and if you want to listen to the episode,
Amazon Music.
Amazon. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we're on there. I don't know if that's special. I think they let everyone on there, but we're on there. So
there you go. If you want to listen to it 1 week later, you can check it on the YouTube. It's whatever. Everyone's different, But we'll be here. We'll do it again next week, and something spooky's gonna happen. See you then.
Bye now.